Diego C. Palace. This is a watch along for Real Madrid. They've just scored. They've just pulled two. They've just scored again. Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid versus Barcelona. It's the Spanish. It's the Super Cup final, and it is at the moment it's 61 minutes. Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe at Diego C. Palace, and it is also please hit a like as you come into the live chat. It's amazing final. Barcelona are taking Real Madrid to a task at the moment, and I have to say, is Real Madrid now gonna big up to you, Florman, here you are, fan number one. Big up to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And for those of you who speak Spanish there, esta es la Copa del Final entre la Real Madrid contra Barcelona. Greetings, bienvenido o bienvenida. And es espectacular. El Real Madrid tienen 2 goles y Barcelona ahora tienen 5. Estoy perdiendo la voz un poquito porque de venir de un partido donde la Crystal Palace ganó en nuestra copa aquí en la FA Cup. Pero les digo, la Real Madrid ahora ¿qué van a hacer? Tienen que comprar jugadores, de pronto van a comprar los jugadores de Liverpool. What I just said there in Spanish for anyone in English, this is going to change the Real Madrid transfer window in January. I have to say, now what's going to happen is are Real Madrid now going to press the panic button in the transfer window and get in the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold? Perhaps they might even go for Mo Salah or something like that. Real talk. Hold on a second. I just got to get my glasses. I can't see properly with these ones. If I can find them. Where are they? Here they are. And yes, it's absolute things. Thank you very much, everyone in the chat. And I'll tell you something. This is going to change the transfer window, not just in Real Madrid, but also for Barcelona, in my opinion, and for other Premier League clubs, for other European clubs. And it's going to start the domino effect, because Real Madrid are now going to press the panic button. And I can see easily, if not by the end of next week, the week after, there's the news about Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool going to Barcelona. That probably will happen, but it's still Real Madrid 2 and Real Madrid 2 and Barcelona 5. Just going to put my proper glasses on so I can see, and I can see you all. Thank you for tuning in, and it is Rodrigo got one back there on 60 minutes. I am on 66 minutes at the moment, and of course Barcelona down to 10 men now, and but it's anything can happen now. Anything can happen now. I think there is still time, maybe to for Real Madrid to bring it back to 3. But I think for them to score 5 goals in the remainder of normal time, it's going to be an ask. Real talk. But also, there's been this watch along is also for to give a reaction to the FA Cup fixtures as well. But what I'm also going to try and do is also keep an eye on the transfer window to see if there's any updates for my Crystal Palace, of course, and for any other clubs out there, if anyone out there is interested. Let me just put just log me out. Real. Whoop. Real Madrid. Right, let's see if this works. Oh, this is not working. But in the meantime, please, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe at Diego C. Palace. It is still it is still Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. I'm just trying to get the match up. Here we go. Right, here we go. Oh, what a day, what a day. I've just come back from Selhurst Park where my Crystal Palace won 1-0 away at home to Stockport County. And I'm glad that I haven't even seen who we're playing next. So I'll have to do a reaction to that in a minute, a live reaction to see who we're going to play next in the FA Cup. I think that's already been drawn. And of course, oh yes, Arsenal fans are out of the FA Cup. Well done, those Manchester United fans out there for knocking out those Arsenal fans. Did everyone see that Kai Havertz penalty miss? All that money. And it is absolute scenes over there in North London. Arsenal fans are completely losing it because of their failure to go through. And this is Real Madrid now. Oh, the Barcelona player has just had his ankle taken there. And Frank de Jong is there saying on his touchline, por favor, por favor. And please hit a like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. Let me just put here live chat. It is Flock, Madridista, here, #1 fan. Greetings from Colombia. Gracias, muchas gracias, Flock. Oh, 1 minute. Flock, Madridista. Una madrista ya. ¿Qué le pasa a tu equipo de la Real Madrid? ¿Qué les pasa? El don Ancelotti no está contento al momento, pues claro, porque están perdiendo. Pero no solo son los que están perdiendo la Real Madrid, los blancos, los galácticos, es la manera que están perdiendo. Por favor, les digo, Modric, wait a minute, un momento, no puedo ver el... Porque nada es sencillo a veces. Vamos a ver. Aquí vamos a ver. Ok, aquí estoy. Ahí donde está el control del... Todo no se puede encontrar. Un momento, voy a traer una cosa. And, right, vamos a ver. Esta es una espectacular que esta performance de la Real Madrid no se justifica. Que están perdiendo 2-5 contra Barcelona. Ahora están defendiendo Barcelona. Jude Bellingham ahí, el jugador de Inglaterra. Right, let me get that going. Rodrigo on the ball. Dalveri on the ball. Crossing it over to the back post to Jude Bellingham. Ay, me toca traer otra cosa. Para mí le deben pasar la pelota a Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid, porque es el que ha jugado y ha metido los más goles en los últimos partidos para la Real Madrid. Y lo que yo no entiendo es porque no tiene más presencia cuando la Real Madrid está atacando a Barcelona. Si tú eres nuevo, por favor, suscríbete a Diego C. Palace. Si tú eres nuevo, por favor, dígale un gusto a la... Ahí casi que pueden coger la pelota ahí. Ahí vamos a ver. Un momento, voy a tratar de... me va a tocar perder... me toca aprender una cosa primero. I'm just going to check that everyone can hear me. And I'm just going to check. Let's have a look. If you're new to the channel, please hit a like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. I'm doing the watch along now between Real Madrid and Barcelona. It's a Super Cup final. And okay, here we go. That's okay. Right, let's do that. Right, let's just get the match going. Bueno, ahí vamos a ver. Todavía estoy en 72 minutos. I am on 72 minutes. And it is Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. For me, Jude Bellingham needs to come more into this match. He's the one that scored the most goals recently for Real Madrid. There's no credible service up to Jude Bellingham. And Real Madrid seem to be attacking all on the right-hand side. But Bellingham is on the left-hand side. So, for me, I just don't get that. Lo que estoy tratando de decir en inglés, si no entiendes, es que para mí el equipo de la Real Madrid deben utilizar a Jude Bellingham más. Él es el que ha metido los más goles para la Real Madrid en últimos partidos. Y el servicio para él no es suficiente. Y mira, perdieron la pelota. And there you go, overpass. And Luka Modric couldn't get hold of the ball. Too many low power performances from Real Madrid. There is only 73 minutes, so there's still more football to play. There's a lot of football to be played here. But for me, Raheem Diaz, I think I think it's too far behind. I think it's too much. Of course, Barcelona are playing with a player down. And I have to say that we'll have to wait and see. I think if Barcelona can get another goal in the next 3 or 4 minutes, then it's reachable, because that'll be 2 goals for the last 10 minutes. So there's still time, but I think in the next 7 minutes, Real Madrid need to pull another one back, in my opinion. And Ceballos on the ball. And now it's Barcelona attack. Robin Lewandowski won the ball. He passes the ball back. Barcelona are calm on the ball. They don't have to rush the passes. They're 3 goals up. I'm trying to see if they've done the FA Cup draw, because I'm late and I haven't seen that. Oh, here we go. It might be in here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe at Diego C. Palace. Help me get to... Oh, thank you for the 2 likes, people. Help me get to 5 likes if you can. Por favor, si me pueden ayudar a llegar a 5 gustos, te agradezco. En el momento del partido van a entrar 2 jugadores... Van a cambiar 2 jugadores la Real Madrid. Pero al momento todavía es Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. Estamos, yo estoy a 75 minutos. Vincent Jr. has come off. And oh, someone, Real Madrid getting a yellow card. This doesn't help them. This doesn't help him, because the thing is, they need to just get on with it. And now some harsh tackles going in. Lewinsky's just gone down. Another person's getting a yellow card. Please hit like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace if you are new. Help me get to 2,000 subscribers if you could. That'd be great. And oh, 1 minute. Let me just put this guy here. Ooh. There we go. It's still Ruho. Jucande, they should have been a bit more calm there. And now, as a foul to Real Madrid. And Barcelona players are wasting time. You see, a Barcelona player there kicked the ball away. And now there's a Barcelona player down. And of course they had a goalkeeper dismissed in the first half. Please hit a like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. I'm trying to see who. Oh, it doesn't say. I'm trying to find out where the draw is. Thank you very much for hitting the likes. It is a substitution going on. I'm on 78 minutes. And a substitution coming in for Barcelona. Rafinha has come off. Of course, Rafinha, who used to play for Leeds United, and now sometimes, if not most of the time, captains Barcelona. And that's a goal kick now for Real Madrid. Real Madrid need to score within the next 1 or 2 minutes. There's a corner here. Luka Modric passing the ball in, and Barcelona pushing the ball away. And Luka Modric on the ball. Dani Ceballos. Garcia. Dani Ceballos again. Rodrigo. Modric. All on the left-hand side. Ball into the middle penalty area. And Barcelona defending the side. It's another corner for Real Madrid. And let's see. Vinicius Jr. has been substituted. And as I mentioned earlier, the Barcelona lost their goalkeeper, got sent off in the first half. Please hit the likes and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. If you're new, please please subscribe at Diego C. Palace. It is Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. Oh, did I miss something there? Oh, good evening, Steve. I hope you're well, keeping well. And just watching this one to see how it's going to go. It's another final not being played in the nation where the actual players should really be playing. Oh, you got 3. You got and the 5 Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea, yeah, good man. And that wasn't even the first team players they're playing. Maresca been spoilt there with choices of players, and also Arnold Slot at Liverpool. But this match here, with Real Madrid losing this, I mean, I don't think they'll panic, but I think it will ponder the thought how it will be transforming, how it will change the transfer window for Real Madrid, and consequential that will have a domino effect from players coming and going, and yeah, Spurs needed 3-0. I heard that it was 0-0 at full time, and there was a few hairy moments for them. They could have lost it, but credit to Harrogate. I'm trying to find the I'm trying to find out if they've done the draw for the fourth round in the FA Cup, but I can't find it. I'm gonna go back to football. Oh, here we go. FA Cup. I found it. I wasn't looking. Barcelona players down injured. They're dropping like flies at the moment. Wasting time, no doubt. And yet again, Crystal Palace don't get a home draw in the fourth round. Crystal Palace have been drawn away to Doncaster Rovers. And I'm looking at it. Oh my days here. We've got Manchester United versus Leicester City. So that would be Ruben Amorim taking on Ruud van Nistelrooy in the FA Cup fourth round. I'm reading this for the first time because I've been travelling. I've just come from Selhurst Park, so I didn't know who was playing who. So that is a Premier League, two teams in the Premier League in the next round of the FA Cup fourth round. Manchester United versus Leicester City. I think Manchester United fans will be happy with that, I suppose. But I suppose they'll be wary of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Good evening, Box Hunter. We got Donny away. Yeah, we have. And no, I've not been there. I've not been to Doncaster Rovers. So hopefully I can get a ticket for that. Yeah, I've never been to that one. So I've got to check it out. No, I haven't been up there. And the thing is, probably the away stadium. What is the capacity up there? We're probably going to have very few tickets. And I probably won't get a ticket for it. If you're new to the channel, please hit a like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. Leeds United versus Millwall or Dagenham and Redbridge. Millwall playing tomorrow night against Dagenham and Redbridge. And those of you who don't know, Dagenham and Redbridge is there's a close proximity, not where the grounds are now, but back in the day Millwall was in the Isle of Dogs, next to West Ham United, and a lot of the fans for Dagenham and Redbridge have been brought up in West Ham United families. 15,000 capacity, yeah, that's going to be difficult to get an away ticket for that. You got to know who you know, and it looks like Barcelona. I think we only got 5 minutes of normal time to play. I'm here. I'm on Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5, and it looks like Barcelona have done the damage in the first half. Even changing the goalkeeper here. The goalkeeper getting sent off. Also, oh yes, Brighton, Hove and Albion are going to be facing Chelsea, and that means they will be they'll be looking to get rid of Brighton. I think Chelsea will get Brighton out of the FA Cup. That's right. That's all I ask for. People out there, whatever team you support, just beat Brighton. That's all I ask. Okay, pretty please with cream on top. So I don't think the Chelsea fans would want that right now. The way they drop points, we drew against them, and Preston North End or Charlton Athletic versus Wycombe Wanderers. An opportunity there for Real Madrid, but no Nobel. Exeter City versus Nottingham Forest. Oh, that's a long trek for the Nottingham Forest fans. but I think they should overcome Exeter City away there. And Coventry City versus Ipswich Town. I suppose. Oops, I just lost the. Here's Real Madrid. France Garcia on the left-hand side. I suppose, is that a foul? That's a foul for Real Madrid. But he did sort of fly in there. Oh, so he's got a yellow card there. It's a free kick to Real Madrid, just outside the penalty area on the left-hand side, near the flagpole. Let's see what they can do here from this set piece. And Blackburn Rovers versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think Wolverhampton Wanderers will get through there. Arujo getting a yellow card there for that foul. Here's Luka Modric behind the ball. They could do with a quick goal now. We're on 87. Oh, that's too far. That's a terrible. No, it's over. It's over. Real Madrid are not going to pull this back. That's a terrible cross there by Rodrigo. Leave it to Modric. I think Ancelotti's going back to his dugout now and he's thinking, yeah, that's done now. They've only got 2.5 minutes of normal time and they're 3 goals down. I think that's done. Mansfield Town or Wigan Athletic versus Fulham. And also Birmingham City versus Newcastle United. I expect the Toon Army, the Newcastle United fans would have wanted a home fixture. That could be tricky for them, Birmingham City. And but I think they should, the way they're playing with Alexandra Isak up top, they should get through. It's a Barcelona player has gone down injured. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe at Diego C. Palace. And this is Barcelona winning the ball there. Barca beat Real again, but you can't beat other teams at 5 points behind Atletico. Yeah. And it's Real Madrid. There's a second Barcelona player down with cramp. But they don't have to stop the play. Oh, now there's a third player. Everton. Oh, my days, I nearly missed it. Plymouth Argyle. I mean, of course, they've just recently sacked Wayne Rooney, but they won, of course, against Brentford. That was the shocker yesterday. And they've learned themselves Liverpool home tie against Liverpool. Plymouth Argyle versus Liverpool. The Liverpool fans will be spitting because they don't like to travel all that way south. That's a long trick from Liverpool, from Anfield all the way down to Plymouth Argyle. Imagine if that's like a 12:30 kickoff. That would really get up the goats of the Liverpool fans. Everton versus Bournemouth. Oh, that's Bournemouth. Bournemouth should win that. And Leyton Orient or Derby County versus Manchester City. I fancy Manchester City to get through that round. And then, of course, Doncaster Rovers versus my Crystal Palace. Well done, Oliver Glasner. I was at Selhurst Park just earlier on today. And we got a goal, 1 goal. We won by 1 goal. We were very, very, very... we didn't get out of second gear at Crystal Palace. But we nicked the result. I have to say in the second half, the referee did give some decisions favourable to us. And I never say that a lot. I was talking to a Stockport County fan afterwards. And I did say to them that referee, I would have been fuming if I travelled all that distance. And there's Real Madrid with a back heel. And that should be a goal. And Bellingham... Was he taking... That should be a penalty for Bellingham, surely. On 90 minutes, but I think it's all too late. And let me see. It's Mbappe. Nice little back heel to Jude Bellingham. Yeah, that's good defending. That's very good defending from the youngster. Yaki Peña there. Very well defended there against Jude Bellingham. That was not a penalty. And last of all, Stoke City versus Cardiff City. Unbelievable scenes there, but I think that the tie there that sticks out for me is Plymouth Argyle versus Liverpool, and the other juicy one is, of course, Manchester United versus Leicester City. Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to have to go back to Old Trafford with a Leicester City side, and can he? I think I think, man, I hate it. Good evening, Alex S. I hope you're well. Inter win 1-0. Surprise Atalanta. Yeah, following their loss against AC Milan in that Supercoppa, I think it's called, in Italy last week. Was it this week, actually? Congrats on your win today. Yes, I am very happy with it. I'm not happy the way we won it, may I say that. I'm glad that we didn't pick up any more injuries as far as I saw. We rested Jean-Philippe Mateta, which is a good thing. We could have done him on the pitch. You can see when he's not on the pitch, the different dynamics of what he does brings to us up front. Now, my understanding is that should Barcelona win this match today, which I think they will, there's a third goal probably coming in. Oh, we are heavy-footed. It's just not landing. There's too many bad. Rudiger, there's not really a striker, but he was up there. And how did he? It's just a bad. Oh, he's offside. He's offside. That's offside, surely. That's offside. He should have scored it, but he's not really a striker. Rudiger really is a defender. But this could be Hans Dieter flick. Hans Dieter flick. Of course, the Barcelona manager. This will be his first trophy. Lo que estoy diciendo aquí en español, si alguien habla en español, este va a ser la primera copa para para Hans Dieter Flick. Va a ser importante para Barcelona, va a ser importante porque al momento están en la ventana de dejar jugadores ir y tratar de entrar jugadores a Barcelona. What I just said there was this will be Hans Dieter Flick's first trophy, and this will be instrumental to the January transfer window of Barcelona, I feel. So with some players trying to be loaned out or to get off their books because of their high wages, and maybe bringing some in. Could Marcus Rashford now definitely be an option for Barcelona, given that they've won this cup, and it will be a more of an attractive proposition, I would have said, to if Marcus Rashford is to end up in Spain. Oh, thank you very much for getting me to 5 likes. You're all absolutely amazing out there. Thank you very much for doing that. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe at Diego C. Palace. I am on 94 minutes, a minimum of 8 minutes still to be played. But Real Madrid are 2 and Barcelona are winning by 5 goals. I think this is done. The damage was done in the first half. The damage is done. When the second goal for Rafinha went in, I said, it's done. It's done. Koundé on the ball for Barcelona. And then he crosses it in. It's 3 against 4. And back. It's Cunha back was in. He crosses it in. And this is going to be... And oh, nearly. Now, will Civica land at Liverpool, or will he go to PSG? That's something on the transfer window, if anyone is interested there. And it looks like this is going to end in a minute. A kick in Mbappe, and oh, he cuts inside, but a super save there by the Barcelona goalkeeper. And it's not meant to be. Mbappe goes like this. It's just not meant to be for any of the Real Madrid players today. The travelling of going all the way out there. Madrid on the ball. And now Rudiger heads the ball forward. And I think this will be a deserved win for Hans Dieter Flick, the Barcelona. They've just shown a picture of the Real Madrid president. He doesn't look very happy. And for me, the first half was instrumental. The Barcelona came out more clinical in the first half, more intensity in their attacking play, and it showed, and that's why they scored all those goals in quick succession. But Jamal there getting a hug from Didier Hanks Flicks, and I'll do the reactions to the FA Cup in a minute. I'm just waiting for this match to finish. Real Madrid are losing 2, Barcelona 5 at the moment. I thought the referee just blew for a full-time whistle, but it hasn't. They're still playing, but... And that is it. Time out. Hans-Dieter Flick has won a trophy. He's beaten another veteran, manager with loads of trophies. But Barcelona has won. How does this win for Barcelona affect the possibility of Marcus Rashford going to Barcelona? How does this affect the transfer, the potential transfer, or interest, I should say, for Real Madrid to bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold? Could Luis Diaz not be going to Barcelona now in any team future? Right, let me just turn that off. I can confirm that Real Madrid have lost just then. Barcelona win, Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5, and I have to say that's absolutely what was going to happen there. And I'm just checking to see. No, that's not it. Oh, that's a shame. Big up, Alex. I swear, I see him real. No, no, don't say that. Don't harm anyone. Who is that? That's there's a big up to today. We cooked those set pieces today. Yes, you won against. All right, we're going to go to the FA Cup fixtures, and I have to say, real talk. What a day of FA Cup fixtures there today. Results, and just too quickly before I go into the men's, the women's tie in the women's FA Cup against Sheffield United had been postponed because of the pitch was frozen over. But in the men's FA Cup fixture at Selhurst Park against Stockport County, ended. Excuse me. Crystal Palace 1, Stockport County 0, and who else? None other than Ebriaze scoring the winning goal. But I have to say, in the second half, we were helped by the referee. There were some decisions that, of course, I'm a Crystal Palace fan, but some of the decisions I was like, oh, And I don't often say that because I often say that normally at Selhurst Park we don't get any favourable decisions from the referees, but today we did. And speaking to some uh, Stoke County, uh, Stoke County fans after the match, and they were fuming with the referee, absolutely fuming with the referee, and it should have been a bit more closer in the scoreline, as it were. Um, but it wasn't. They couldn't get enough in the last third to give us any trouble. Um, but the job's done. With the Crystal Palace players got a 1-0 without everyone who normally starts first for Crystal Palace, and very proud that we are still in the hat, and we're facing now Doncaster Rovers. It's a ground which I haven't been, but I've been told in the chat it's a lovely city. So looking forward to that. But apparently they've only got an allocation of 14,000, so that's going to be it's going to take some doing to try and get a ticket for that one. Believe me. Um, Ebrieze scoring there. And that's brilliant. That's brilliant for us. If you're new to the channel, please hit a like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. That is the result. Crystal Palace 1, Stockport County 0. For me, I think it was just wonderful to see Chadid Riyad starting a match for the senior side. He has played a few matches recently for the unders to get match fit. You can see that he's not there 110% back to his best. I think he's making his way back up there to his levels. He did have some passes today that everyone went, don't lose the ball there. But well done, Chadid Riyad. Chadid Riyad is a Moroccan international, and he played today in the Crystal Palace defence. So well done to him. I was absolutely happy to see him there today. Um, it's a good 1-0 win. Eddie Nketiah worked his socks off on that pitch, and he could do with a couple of goals, opportunities on goal, and let him just do what he is. But the way the team is set up at the moment, it's difficult for Eddie Nketiah, whether he's playing up top with Sarr, or whether he's playing up there with, of course, Jean-Philippe Mateta. But I don't think he'll moan. I think he'll just get on with it. Mm. I'm a little bit having little bit of nibble. But in other FA Cup results today, it ended. Let's try and do this alphabetical actually. First of all, today it ended Hull City 1, Doncaster 1, and Doncaster Rovers winning on penalties, and that is whom we got next, and in the fourth round. Now, the next match was Tamworth versus Tottenham Hotspur. Now, if you're a Tottenham Hotspur fan out there, you would be asking to yourself, how can you not score a goal against Tamworth? I know you're playing away from your big stadium, but this is an old school stadium. And after the 90 minutes, it was Tamworth 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Now, of course, Tottenham go through, and I suppose they kind of just take the pressure off Ange Postecoglou. But I think had they gone out in the way they didn't perform well in the first and the second half of that third round FA Cup round, I think the Tottenham Hotspur fans will be saying we got away with one there, because whether they deserve to win or not, I didn't actually see it because I was at Selhurst Park watching my match. But from what I understand, it went to full time and it was 0-0. But then it went into extra time, and then Tottenham Hotspur, um, yeah, they just unlocked everything else. Now the next fixture is. Oh no, I've got this. Header there. Listen to this. Listen to this. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Of course, I didn't see this fixture because I was at Selhurst Park throughout the whole match. But having listened to what the enraged Arsenal fans, because they're going into meltdown. The Arsenal fan base at the moment, it's there's cannons of moving plates there. Basically, Arsenal fans, now do you understand why I have said that Mikel Arteta at the moment is not the right person, I think, for your football club? For 4 reasons. The first one is, I think, is that Arsenal have appointed, or they appointed Mikel Arteta, and he didn't have much experience as a first team manager at anywhere. So for me, that just didn't compute well when they appointed him. Number two, in the time that he's been there, he has won an FA Cup, but those players, which included Pepe, included Lacazette, included what was the lanky player at top? The name's is leaving my name, so I've had a long day today. Lacazette, Pepe. Who was the other one? Aubameyang. Sorry, I've had a long day because I went to the football earlier on. So Mikel Arteta dismantled that. And he also had a very well performing Tierney on the left hand side, and he's just gone. It's just Arteta's just destroyed him, like literally. The point where I'm trying to land with this FA Cup, I mean that with those players where he won that FA Cup, I think it was 5.5 years ago. Those players were all. They all were brought in and they were put in place to play the ways that they did, and that was Unai Emery. They're his players. They were his players. But Arteta went in, they won the FA Cup, and what he has been good at is dismantling and not building on something that has just won you a trophy. He completely dismantled and says, "No, I'm going to do the process, and this is what I want to do." In the FA Cup competition alone, it is my understanding that since Mikel Arteta won the FA Cup with Unai Emery's players, Mikel Arteta has since winning that FA Cup, he's only won in all those 4 years. He's only won 2 more FA Cup ties, and after that FA Cup tie, he's been knocked out. So let me just compute that to everyone out there. He won the FA Cup, and then 4 years later, he's only ever won 2 more matches in 4 years in this competition, and consequently they've been knocked out. And that's madness. The third reason I think he should never have been appointed is because of the lack of experience in what he can do with players. The amount of millions that Arsenal have spent at that football club on Mikel Arteta and Edu as well, but although Edu's basically gone to Nottingham Forest. But the point is, he knew when to jump. Edu was just gone. It's just absolutely astronomical, the net spend. Over 750 million net spend in the time that Mikel Arteta's been there. And he's only won 2 FA Cup rounds in 4 years. No, 2 FA Cup matches, if you like, in 4 years. And one of them was Oxford United. If the Arsenal fan base thinks that he's the man to develop the process that started, since he got appointed, and all those millions and millions and millions of pounds, for me as a Crystal Palace fan, I'm thinking, well, carry on. I know you just knocked us out of the League Cup and in the Premier League, but may I add, with a very dubious second goal for Gabriel Jesus. But it is just absolutely, I would not have Mikel Arteta at my football club. Wouldn't have him. And that's telling you something else, Arsenal fans. Real talk. Right, the next one. So And then on the side of the opponents today was Manchester United. And from what I hear of the match, the referee was very biased to Arsenal. And what I mean by that is some of the free kicks and some of the yellow cards that he gave out that I've seen the replays on, I've seen them not given. Yeah, congratulations to Barcelona. Does that mean, or does that not mean that now Rashford will not be considered? They've just won a trophy. But it is what it is. You know, it's not about that. It's about La Liga. That's probably what they want to win. And of course, teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid, they want to. Oh, 1 minute, because I can't be hearing this. Why is the volume gone up on that suddenly? Oh, well, it's basically because it's pressed that. But basically, the Manchester United in this fixture, I'm just going to double check it because obviously I was at Selhurst Park when it happened. And the take that I take from it, from what I've heard and the little that I've seen clips, is that Bruno Fernandes scored first. And all the goals were actually scored in the second half. But the yellow cards, I'm going to actually go into it so I can prove the point. It kind of has the feel that Arsenal got a few decisions going their way, as per usual. And, oh, I've lost you from the match, sorry. But the guy constantly costs us games, bro. He used to be sold winter. Congrats to Barcelona. Did you see that pen at Arsenal? Yeah, I heard it. I didn't see it live because I was on the move, as it were. And did you see the penalty? The one that I have seen is the penalty for Amad Diallo. What a confident penalty taker he is. He absolutely buried that. You can see from the body language of the Manchester United players when they started to do the penalties that they were going to win. And then, of course, Kai Havertz missing that penalty. And I have to say, look how much they paid for him. Look how much he's getting paid every week there. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't have him at my Palace. Nah. Not certainly on the wages that he's on. I mean, whoever landed that deal for Adu at Arsenal, someone needs to know how much did they take from that deal. Oh, is there still another match on? I didn't know that. And so I think two things that came off that match, which was Arsenal versus Manchester United. The referee, in my opinion, was giving out yellow cards like if he was at a casino blackjack table. He's just handing out the cards. And that's one thing. So the referee was, in essence, it kind of had a feeling that the Arsenal man nicked this right at the end. But we all know what happened on that sports. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the toilet in a minute. Just give me a second. So that's one thing. The referee was clearly giving decisions to Arsenal, but Arsenal always get these decisions at the Emirates. I don't know why. Mikel Arteta again was outside his technical area, literally with his feet on the pitch side line, on the side. There was a sending off. 2 yellow cards, my understanding was for Diogo Dalot. But even with that, went into extra time. They held out. Those Manchester United players found a way to stay in the match, to pull one goal back, to take it to penalties, I should say. The second thing, which I think is important there between Arsenal and Manchester United, and this is the penalty takers. Bro, I have that. You can't review it. Yellow. Yeah, it's the thing is, if you look at the way that the Arsenal players took the penalties, they didn't look confident. Um, Perhaps I would say the only one that really took it with confidence was Declan Rice for Arsenal. And but the penalty taken from Manchester United was spot on. Like that point, like that point of getting this game changing technology, just to limit yourself. What it is as I say, because the referees are relying now so much on technology and on decisions made by VAR. Just levels just don't feel right. I think in matches sometimes, because they think, someone will check it. You know, just go with the box and go over and have a look or something like that. That's one thing. Um, for me, am I surprised that Manchester United have beaten Arsenal at the Emirates? No, I'm going to say no. The reason why I'm saying that is the way that they played against Liverpool in that 2-2 draw earlier on in the week. It was, yeah, it was levels. So for me, um, it's interesting also to see it because Ruben Amorim plays that three at the back the very same way that Oliver Glasner plays his football. And that's why I was actually particularly intrigued in how that formation would resist the temptation for example, Liverpool from creating any offensive play and just keeping it at a low tempo when it needed to be in the intensity of the game. And Manchester United did that very well when they played Liverpool. So when now they're facing what we saw today, Manchester United versus Arsenal, the Arsenal don't have a striker. I think um, Manchester United players are starting to make their thoughts on the matches on the pitch rather than it being cascaded around within their little YouTube, not YouTube, Twitter, or even probably WhatsApp tickets. And I have to say, um, I am in no doubt that Oliver Glasner will be looking at um, how they how Liverpool approached that match and got it to penalties. Were confident enough to nail those penalties. As I say, that penalty by Amad Diallo, what a confident taker! What a penalty taker for his age. Oh, that's levels, absolute levels. And it ended, if I'm not mistaken, it ended 1-1 at full time. And on penalties, Manchester United won 5-3, with Kai Havertz missing the penalty. I mean, I'm sure he's on like thousands and thousands. Big up to this. I watched Dynamo Kiev and Dynamo Zagreb on YouTube in the season game, but they put a live show there. Yeah, they're putting a lot of live shows now on YouTube. Not just in the Premier League and stuff like that. I suppose that's the way they're going in the future, I suppose. I am in stadiums here called Manuka played there also. Dynamo Zagreb playing pre-season match Arsenal and AC Milan. Oh, so you're going to see actually the offsides come in. Please help me get to 10 likes if you can in the chat. This has been, first of all, a second half watch along for where it ended Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. For those of you who speak Spanish, esto cubrí solo lo último del partido de la Supercopa entre los dos equipos de la Real Madrid contra Barcelona, y el equipo de Barcelona ganó el partido 5 con Real Madrid solo metiendo 2 goles. Para mí la tensión, la facilidad de la Real Madrid para tener posición del partido, para aplicar, atacando, si es Barcelona o cualquier persona que ellos atacan, tiene que envolver más y tiene que envolver siempre el jugador Jude Bellingham, el jugador inglés que juega por la Real Madrid. A él no se sintió eh, con calma, con precisión, en la manera que le pasaran la pelota a él, en la manera que él podría formarle problemas a la defensa de Barcelona. En todos los 90 minutos no lo pudo hacer. Y en el principio del partido, Barcelona demostró eso. Ellos pararon a Jude Bellingham en, 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 en hacer lo que él puede hacer. What I just said there in Spanish, I'm going to do it now in English, is I found that throughout the 90 minutes of that Super Copa between La Real Madrid and Barcelona, Jude Bellingham is key to the success at the moment at Real Madrid. Yes, they've got big stars all over the pitch, but if you look at the current form at the moment for Real Madrid, the one that has been scoring the most goals for them, if I'm not mistaken, has been Jude Bellingham, or the one that definitely has been involved in like nearly everything but everything. So throughout the 90 minutes, I just said in Spanish, the application of how Jude Bellingham integrates himself into the side of Real Madrid and how they respond to him, especially when they're attacking, was not as it just wasn't as how I've seen Real Madrid play recently in the last few weeks. Hence why Jude Bellingham didn't score any goals, didn't score loads of goals, but it was detrimental that because the intensity of Hans-Dieter Flick, the Barcelona manager, in the first half was demonstrated by the amount of goals that they scored against Barcelona, but against Real Madrid. I think if it remained 3-0, then Real Madrid could have clawed something back, perhaps. But the fact they weren't even playing in Spain, I think that sort of counts it against their um, good Super Copa final, a massive trophy for Hans-Dieter Flick, the Barcelona manager. Now, I'm not saying this as banter or trying to stir something. It's a reality. Where the cusp of a transfer window, there's been links, for example, Marcus Rashford been linked to Barcelona. Does this cup changes anything in the competition for Real Madrid and Barcelona in the transfer window? I don't think it will change what they were trying to do in each of the teams, but I think it kind of starts flicking at a domino, and the domino starts to fall, and then another one starts to fall. And in the case of Real Madrid, they lack someone coming off the bench to come on the bench, off the bench to come on, and then just spark something out. They lacked that cohesiveness of them being able to have possession of the ball, be dominant on the ball, and more importantly, just with the attacking players that they've got, just cause so much mayhem in the opposition midfielders that are in the pivot and the back line of Barcelona. And if they had an informed Trent Alexander-Arnold, then Real Madrid could have done a bit more, in my opinion. Now, Liverpool fans that they will be saying, why is this guy talking about it? The reason why I talk about it is because once Real Madrid has a little sniff and they're saying, me gusta este jugador ya. Once Real Madrid says, I like that player over there, they start inquiring about it, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when the Trent Alexander will end up at Real Madrid. The only thing I'll say for, I mean, I know they don't listen to this channel, but in the case of Trent Alexander-Arnold, if he's forgotten how much Liverpool fans have protected him when opposition fans criticise what Trent Alexander-Arnold is about, what he has done for Liverpool, for the Liverpool fans. If Trent Alexander-Arnold has blinders on and is not conscious of that, this move from him, this move for him could open a can of worms, I think, at Liverpool. One, because I've always said I don't understand how Liverpool think, but what I do know is that there's a lot of emotional baggage between Liverpool fans and Real Madrid. Why? Because technically Real Madrid is out of three occasions, if I'm not mistaken, two of them uh, they had some really favourable decisions to go their way, and Liverpool could really easily, as you and I, or yes, I'm talking to you listening, they could have had at least two more Champions League trophies in the cabinet had it not been for Real Madrid with some questionable decisions in the past and where the matches slipped away from the Liverpool's grasp and Real Madrid got it over the line. Now, if Trent Alexander-Arnold now is an attractive proposition by Real Madrid, that's going to have an effect on what's happening at Liverpool, and then in turn, teams like Barcelona will be looking and says, right, who can we remove from our books who are earning so much money, and then try and bring somebody in. So this match, I think, will have a like a little bump on the road. Whilst before it would have been a smooth transfer window, I think this cup will ask more questions, of course, no doubt, of Real Madrid and their scouting situation. They lost today. Yes, they can say it was played in a different country, etc. But it is what it is. Right, the other so that ended Celtic. Celtic, listen to me. It's been a long day. Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. Right, let me go back to the FA Cup round. But before I do that, I think I saw Steve put some stuff in there. Let me have a look. Yes, you have. Oh, wow. Crystal Palace normally play pre-seasons July to August 2003. Rangers had 23 winter daybreaks, so played 3 seasons games in January. Yeah, it's just, that's got to be madness. That's got to interfere with the coaching strategy that they'll have up there. If they have to have a break there, Rangers play pre-season games versus AC Milan in February 29 to a no winter break for David Beckham. The play it was 2-2. Rangers drew 2-2, and AC Milan 22. Milan Rangers get 2 goals lead. 2002 Rangers let 2 goals lead slip, and Milan third goal was ruled out offside, but onside in 2009 it ended 2-2. Now I think this final, look, it's not the end and all of everything, but I think it will have some implications of decision making, whether they are speeded up or whether perhaps they're not acted upon in respect to the squad in depth that Hans Flick has at Barcelona, and also, of course, what the Don of all managers, Ancelotti, has at his current side, Barcelona. So it's a nasty sort of part of the game where literally when you come to transfer windows, it's literally everyone trying to update their situation by having some consistency in results during the transfer windows. But when you get a match like this, like Real Madrid versus Barcelona, I have to say, as a neutral, Real Madrid never turned up. The players were on the pitch, but too many unforced errors, too many individual mistakes, and I honestly say, I don't think Real Madrid actually, I mean, they weren't there, they were playing on the pitch, but the players may not even been in the change room. Perhaps the players were back home in Spain, like in the mind. So it is what it is on that. I got Napoli scored 2. I will check how many I got them when I turn on the laptop. Big up to you, Steve. Uh, um, now, please help me get to 10 likes. If you haven't liked, please hit like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. So I'm looking forward to see what this, like, because obviously we're football fans. When you go to sleep or when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is pick up your phone, or if you've got a tablet, laptop, and then refresh it to see what transfer breaking news have happened overnight. And I think this win for Barcelona will have a domino effect on other deals, and likewise for Arsenal. That will affect will be induced um, into the January transfer window and how other teams respond to that. Um, it can have an effect. Right. The next bit I want to say is the other fixtures on the FA Cup. But I am going to have to go. Good evening, Paul Brady. I hope you're well, and good result for Barcelona. A very good first half. That match was won in the first half, in my opinion, and even they had a red card as well. But they were more organised, more clinical. They had more intensity, and they looked like they were playing as a team, even when they make mistakes. Sometimes when they make a mistake, you're thinking, "Look, you guys, do you actually talk to each other in the change room on a match day pre-season or something like that?" And it's clear that something ain't right there. Plymouth Argyle getting Manchester United. That's going to be a tasty one. And that's. Oh, 1 minute. I just pressed on something. I don't know where that went. I don't think Arsenal did enough to win that match, in my opinion, in the 90 minutes, and certainly one of the yellows on Diogo Jota that was sent off. I have to say I've seen them not been given, but because it's at the Emirates and because Mikel Arteta is there on the touchline, all these officials seem to give him all the decisions, and even with that help, he still managed to lose. And as I said earlier on, he spent over 750 mil in net expenditure over 4 or 5 years quickly in the FA Cup competition since he won it with Unai Emery's players, and then he threw underneath the bus Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang. Um, he has destroyed Tierney. He was playing remarkably well back then, and look at where he is now. You can't even get on. You can't even get off the bench because of what Arteta's done to him, in my opinion. And it's just not acceptable. You will never get a manager in La Liga in Spanish. I'm no expert in Spanish football, but in La Liga, no hay un equipo que le da la oportunidad a un manager como Mikel Arteta, sin ninguna experiencia, y darle 5 años y más de 750.000 millones en sterling en comprar jugadores. Eso no ocurre, no va a ocurrir. Pero por alguna razón, eso ocurre a favor de Mikel Arteta en el equipo de Arsenal. What I just said in Spanish was, in La Liga, there is no La Liga football side. I'm not an expert, but I can categorically tell you out there, if you speak to any Spanish football fan from any football club in La Liga, none of them, and I'm not just talking about Atletico Madrid, La Real Madrid, Barcelona, all the other football sides in La Liga, not one of those sides would contemplate bringing in a manager with the lack of experience like Mikel Arteta was brought into Arsenal. And then coupled with that, give that manager then 4 to 5 years, dismantle a side that had been created by Unai Emery, a cup-proven manager, for fuck's sake. And then on top of that, give Mikel Arteta, that inexperienced manager, over £750 million in net spend. And just add this fact as well. Listen to this. In the FA Cup, since Mikel Arteta won that FA Cup over 4 years ago, he won it with Unai Emery's players. Make no mistake about that. But since then, to the present day, he's only won 2 games. And the rest is lost. He's been knocked out. So he's only won 2 FA Cup matches since he won the cup. And one of those matches was, I think, against Oxford United, or from a town up there. It just beggars belief. It's not even funny, because what the travesty is that the way I see it, there are currently excellent English managers in the Championship that will never be given that opportunity. Never. Ever. In my opinion, Pep Guardiola and any other manager out there that suggests that Mikel Arteta is a good manager and he'll do this and he'll do that, you're doing him a disservice. I am sure that Mikel Arteta, first of all, is a good human being, a good man, a good coach and a good manager. But what he needs to do is he needs to take himself, the coaching staff that he's got, that coaching staff, the set pick coach that run 30 yards out of the technical area in the previous match in the League Cup, when they lost that match and they blamed the football. Do you know that one? He needs to take his coaching staff himself and go to Spain. Go to Spain, Mikel Arteta, with all the respect I can give you. Pick up a Spanish side in La Liga, where on one side the Spanish fans, the Spanish players are coming into work and they don't listen to anyone at the club, not the fans, not the owners. They come into work because they only listen to their football agents. On the other side, you've got a football owner at a Spanish side, football club, where they think when they go to the toilet, they're not dropping number 2s, they're dropping golden gooses, a gate exit, if you like. And in the middle of those two, those players that don't listen to anyone and bad owners, you've got the football fans of a Spanish football club. I tell you, you need to go to a football club like that and take it by the horns and take it to the bare basics of football, Spanish football. The reason why I'm saying that is because Spain produces, there's 2 reasons I'm saying that. Spain produces some of the best coaches and managers in football, in basketball, in Formula 1, in tennis. What else? In men's football, in women's football. You've got to learn your trade in your own backyard. And the reason why this brings me on to my second point, why Mikel Arteta needs to do that. Ancelotti did it in his own backyard. Jurgen Klopp did it in his own backyard. Oliver Glasner has done it in his own backyard. It's very similar to Jurgen Klopp. All right, but he's not proven on in Europe. Okay, Jose Mourinho, he learned his trade in his own backyard. Pep Guardiola, he learned his football in his own backyard. Sir Alex Ferguson learned his trade in Scotland. Arsenal fans, smell the coffee. Mikel Arteta has not learned his own trade in his own backyard. Go back there, learn your trade, then come back when you've won a Copa del Rey. Come back when you've won credibility about Spanish home-born talented coaches and managers. Do that. Then come knocking on wood at a Premier League club. But what Arsenal have done is they've given someone with no experience at all, and they brought in Edu with no experience. He's like, God, oh, hello, let's get out of here. He's got a nice cushy job now in Nottingham Forest. Good evening, ST. And that's what it is. It is absolutely alarming. And I have the uppermost respect and love for Ian Wright. And after that League Cup loss that Arsenal lost, at the end of the match, Ian Wright was being interviewed. I love Ian Wright. But he then said, Mikel Arteta needs help. I understand that he's in the media and he needs to say things that are constructively in the game is the game. I get it. I get it. But my point is this. How much more money are you going to give him? How many more years are you going to give a manager like that? Because I tell you something, Arsenal fans, there is no way that I, as a Crystal Palace fans, will accept a manager like Mikel Arteta to come to my Selhurst Park and be there for 5 years, spend over £750 million, and not land any silverware. Get the fuck out! No way, I would not have that. He wouldn't last 2 seasons at Crystal Palace. He will not last 2 seasons. The Crystal Palace ultras in the Homestead stand will hand out the receipts. He'll be out. It is absolutely madness for anyone to suggest to how do we help this manager more. I'll tell you how you can help a manager more that way. It's what I just said. Mikel Arteta needs to go back to Spain, as I say, because Spain produces some of the best coaches and managers in so many sports and in football. Big up to everyone in the chat. I'll come to you in a minute. Second most expensive managers. Yeah, and he's going to I think he's just renewed a contract. You ask any Manchester City fan out there, the ones that used to not recently go to Manchester City, but the Manchester City fans that grew up going to Main Road, and they understand what going's down in leagues and then coming back up and then going and winning all these trophies, right? You ask any Manchester City fan, the ones with the big bellies and they've been to Main Road back in the day, and they'll tell you, would they take Mikel Arteta after Pep Guardiola? No. Flipping way. They wouldn't have it. The real Manchester City fans would never have it. You ask me, any Liverpool fans, would you take Mikel Arteta at your football club, give him 750 million net spend, and give him 5 years and no trophies? Liverpool fans, they wouldn't have that. And then he goes and blames is the manufacturer of the ball in the League Cup. Do me one. Do me one. Do me one. Oh, please, that's taking a piss and it's taking a bubble. I wouldn't have a manager like that at my Crystal Palace. No, not flipping way. It infuriates me because I'll tell you something, and I've mentioned it already. There are talented coaches, English coaches, Scottish coaches, Welsh coaches, and Northern Ireland coaches, and they'll never get that opportunity to manage a club like Arsenal. Never will get an opportunity. And if pundits out there are still saying, oh, we got to help him. Help him with what? He's been nicking results ever since. The narrative is going to be, at that football club with Arsenal, Ethan Ranieri, which is an amazing prospect of a footballer, is injured. Bukayo Saka is injured. But you can't hold this on those 2 injuries. Somebody at Arsenal requested Kai Havertz to come in. Somebody at Arsenal, I expect, made the decision for them to come in, as an example. Did you not see that penalty taken by Amad Diallo, the Manchester United young player? He took that penalty like Victor Gyökeres took that penalty last night in the Portuguese final. What confidence? Amazing confidence by Victor Gyökeres, by Amad Diallo scoring those penalties. Go and watch those 2 penalties taken. Who in the blouse and skirt at Arsenal decided to bring Kai Havertz of Jamie Chelsea agent? That's what it is. That's just it. At least at my Crystal Palace, when we bring Chelsea players in on loan, we've had Conor Gallagher, Trevor Chabla. They do a number. They do a job for us. All right. Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz will not get in front of Brieze Martin. Oh no, no way, no flipping way, no way. Right, so Arsenal, I don't think. I didn't see the match because I was at Selhurst Park today, but from what I see of it, what I hear of it, Um, they did they deserve to win? I would have to watch the whole match overall, but I think they've got the next fixtures up this season, this month. They're playing Tottenham Hotspur, and I think they've got Aston Villa. I don't know whether they're playing at home and away for those two. And if Mikel Arteta loses those two matches, especially the Tottenham one, not so much the Unai Emery Aston Villa game, but the Tottenham one, and then if he drops a bad result in the Champions League at the end of this month, I think they are in the Champions League, and they won't get disqualified from qualifying, but they could drop out into the where they have to go into the playoffs in the Champions League. Yeah, if he drops a bad one, so a bad result in Europe at the end of this month, and if he loses the Tottenham game and the Unai Emery, I don't think Mikel Arteta will be the manager of Arsenal in March, especially if there is an alternative out there manager available. What Arsenal need, in my opinion, as an outsider looking in, they need a manager like the dude that's just won with AC Milan and took apart Inter Milan in in that Coppa that they've won a few days ago. That's my point on that one. Right, I'm going to move on from Arsenal because I just I'm an outsider looking into that one, and I just don't understand why the Arsenal fan base for 4.5 years. You say, yeah, give him another year. Yeah, give him another 150 mil. That's fine by me. Um, it just means that I can see the pain in there, and hopefully that compensates from when they kind of rob us on results on match day. That second goal from Gabriel Jesus was clearly offside in the League Cup against us when we were at the Emirates, and they knocked us out of the League Cup. You didn't hear Mikel Arteta complain about the manufacture of the ball and the name of the ball then, did he? Because the man won, innit? Oh, of course, he won't complain then. But against Newcastle United, oh dear. Anyway, right. Going back to the. So I went off on one there. Um, I'll come to the chat in a moment. I'm just trying to find the results. I think I've covered enough on the Arsenal Manchester United match there. Referee, I thought I've seen those yellows not given, whatever, and the penalty taken. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Go and watch, because this is one I did watch in the lounge in the at Selhurst Park, because they had it on the inside the stadium. Go and watch that penalty of Amad Diallo. Look at the confidence and how he took that penalty. Exactly the same confidence and want and need and desire as Victor Gyökeres took that penalty last night for Sporting. And compare those two penalties to Kai Havertz. And if I'm not mistaken, Kai Havertz is actually earning more bubble right now on a contract than Amad Diallo. And it would not surprise me, Victor Gyökeres, if you put those two together. I think it would not surprise me that Kai Havertz is some more favourable terms and conditions of a contract at Arsenal. I'll say no more. Anyway, right. Next one is I was going to look at the other results in the FA Cup today. If I can get this stupid tablet to work. Just bear with me, because I have to press things. It's just so slow. Oh my God. Right. I have to click it and then wait 5 seconds for it to register. I don't know why. It's not an Apple tablet, but it's just so slow. Right. Fixtures. That's how long it takes. I just pressed it and I have to wait for it to acknowledge it. I don't know if maybe I've got it plugged in. I need to get an Apple tablet for this because this is just shit. I'm not going to show and tell the manufacturer, but I'm just trying to get the other results of the FA Cup today. Right, finally got there. Alright, so I've done Hull City 1, Doncaster Rovers 1. Doncaster Rovers 1 on penalties. That's who Crystal Palace have got next. We're away to them. They have a capacity apparently of 13,000, 14,000, so it's going to be an arse for me to get a ticket for that, I'll tell you that much. But I would love to go on there because I've not been to that ground there. No, you know what it's called anyway. Tamworth 0, Tottenham Hotspur 3, but it did end 0-0 at full time. But then it went to extra time, and Tottenham nearly bottled it. Tamworth had opportunities to get that one goal, and it just wasn't meant to be. I've done the Arsenal versus Manchester United. I've mentioned Crystal Palace versus Stockport County. I'm really happy with that as a goal, and also wonderful to see Chadid Riyad starting a match at Selhurst Park and doing the full time. Absolutely ecstatic for him, and he's for those of you who don't know, Chadid Riyad came into Crystal Palace recently. He's a Moroccan international, and he's a brilliant prospect. He's a calm. Today I saw him make a few mistakes, but he's not there 100% there. And today he got fouled, and when he went down in the second half, I thought, oh no, he doesn't need that right now. And I saw that it took him a little while for him to just push off the tackle and the knock that he had, but credit to him. And the other fixtures is coming to the chat. I'm coming. Ipswich Town 3, Bristol 3. Ipswich Town 3, Bristol Rovers 0. I've not looked into that match, I have to say. Newcastle United, we're playing today. See, I was so concentrated on Palace today. Newcastle United won 3-1 against Bromley. Southampton 3. Southampton have won a match against the Swans, the Swansea City. So Southampton 3, Swansea City 1. Right, I'm coming to the chat now because I'm ignoring people, and then that's not very nice. I just went off one there. Big up to Paul Brady. Oh no, I missed that one. Mick ST, Unai, good evening. I spoke once again. Congrats to Barca. Evening their result for Barca. Steve got Napoli 2-0. I will check how many I got. I turned the laptop. Paul Brady says, evening Diego, good result for Barca. Yes, very. Does that mean Marcus Rashford might not be now going to Barcelona? Does that mean that Real Madrid now going to press the panic button, and tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. are they going to call Liverpool for Trent Alexander-Arnold? I don't know. It's gonna have a domino effect. Not majorly wise, but I think it's going to speed things up either way at each of those football clubs, and then it will have a domino effect in other Premier League clubs as well. Once again, congrats to Barca. There's a lot of people that like Barcelona here, I have to say. There are not much many Real Madrid fans. Once again, not fans, but I mean what they're saying. Yeah. Once again, congrats to Barca, their first trophy in almost 1 year and a half, I think. Yeah, they've had problems with their transfers, and also they've confirmed 2 players, and La Liga is apparently taking Barcelona to task on that. Dani Olmo and another player or something. So that's a complicated situation. I don't understand that. But yeah, they've had some issues off the pitch and on the pitch recently. I expect it's all to do with money. I got 2 and got Augsburg 0, 1 Stuttgart 1 Stuttgart. That's got to be in the Bundesliga. Good evening, ST. I hope you're well. I hope you are doing well in this mad cold weather. Unai, Unai. I did not see it. I think that's what he used to say. I can't do his accent. I should be able to do because he can speak Spanish. Super set, and then second most expensive manager, isn't he? I presume you're talking about Mikel Arteta. Yeah, I think he's not just the most expensive manager that any football Premier League has ever had. Probably the manager that's probably spent the most money and not actually won anything with his own players. Do you know what? I've probably made a statement there that no one's actually considered. It could be that Mikel Arteta is the highest spending manager in transfer fees, and with those money that he's spent in the duration while he's been at Arsenal, he's won naught, zippo, nothing. And as I said, as I went on to one there is not one club in La Liga that would accept that. But for some reason, there happens to be a narrative at this football club called at that football club called Arsenal that it's acceptable. Oh, they call it a process. If anyone at my palace starts calling something a process, I'm going to lose it. I will lose it. I will say, no, you're not doing that. You know, we don't do that in a way. We don't make no mistakes. We've got Tuga Freeman at Crystal Palace, so we don't ponce about with stuff like that. Real talk. Now, let me just shut that off. Second most Super yeah. Paul Brady says Liverpool fans just laugh at Lego Head to this day. Lego Head. I know. Well, it's his own fault. We can laugh at it because you can tell that the man dyes his hair. There's no way that a man of his age, with the amount of stress that he does, and don't misunderstand me. I'm not getting on the ankles like a little Jack Russell or Mikel Arteta. I'm just saying, pointing out factual things. After that League Cup lost, and he comes out and talks to the media and says that, oh, the ball was different, like blaming the manufacturer of the football. And then Ian Wright coming after that match is, oh, we've got to help him. We've got to help him. Come on. Ian Wright, I know he'll never listen to this, but he'll know that I'm a Crystal Palace fan. I understand that when he went from Crystal Palace and he went to Arsenal, if he went into Arsenal and he had a manager, okay, so he went there as Arsene Wenger, but then if Arsene Wenger had spent the amount of money that Mikel Arteta has spent and the amount of years that he's been there and he hadn't won anything, I guarantee you not only Arsene Wenger or the manager at that time would have been sacked, but probably Ian Wright himself would have said, you know what, this place ain't for me. Let's go somewhere where I can win something. That's my point. We shouldn't have to be taken to the point where a football pundit, has to say, is a result business, and then eventually the manager gets a sack. We don't need to say that because the managers know that. Anyway, Ahmad was so composed. He was more than composed. He was an animal. The way he unleashed that penalty was just basically Kai Havertz should look at the replay of Amad Diallo's penalties, technical ability. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Kai Havertz's entire salary deal amounts to both the salary of Dalio Amad and Victor Gyökeres of Sporting. So those two players, I bet you what those two get paid for the years of durations of contract in comparison to what Kai Havertz. I bet you Kai Havertz can trump both of those two. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me if that's the case. Would not surprise me. There we go. Bayern is definitely our man of the match. Yeah, I would say so. I think he's done well. I think you're talking about your goalkeeper, if I'm not mistaken. And he's the second goalkeeper there. They need Son and Kuleweski to save their bacon. No, they need a new manager, if you're talking about Arsenal. Anyway, you should start a live at Selhurst Park. I did do that once, but then it uses up my data. There's no Wi-Fi around there, and because Selhurst Park is on a dip, because it's like between two hills, or yeah, kind of. The signal is really bad, so you really use up your data. Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi. in the stadium, and there's no Wi-Fi underneath in the Sainsbury's either. There probably is a Wi-Fi there, but it's just I ain't got a password, so it is what it is. Don't show the game, but just a live stream of yourself talking. Yeah, I could do that, but today I had the opportunity to go. This morning, I was on my way to the Crystal Palace women game, but then they cancelled it because they didn't just cancel it; they had to postpone it. That's the correct term because of the bad weather. Oh, I've just discovered a flick. Right, I don't need to press the little question thing here. When I want to look at the chat, I just got to go like this and up, and then up it comes. Oh my god, it's taking me like 15 watch alongs to discover that. I was pressing. Ah, my days. Bro, is Arteta a coach? No, what Arteta is, he's an apprentice. He's learning to do his apprenticeship in coaching and management. And in his mindset, he thinks he's Pep Guardiola. We've all seen the prime videos of him in his changing room talking to his players, shouting at his players in their face like this. Mate, if I went to work and someone spoke to me like that, I said, you know what, pal? Let's go to the car park and then do that shit again. And it is what it is. You don't talk to a human being like that. These football players, whether they're young, established, or players going towards the end of their careers, you don't need to shout at them like this in their faces, like if they're, do you know what I mean? You wouldn't talk to an animal like that. He thinks that he's tiki-taki footballing, his process, he can articulate verbally and waving whatever he waves in the changing room to his players. I generally believe that the Arsenal players, I mean, we'll never get the truth of it, but I generally believe that the players actually laugh behind his back. Because anyone that talks to another human being like that, people will say, oh, what happens in the changing room is and it stays in the changing room. So why did they do that video? It's a joke. Bro said, how is Arteta a coach? He's an apprentice. Diego, name one Arsenal tactic including set pieces. Where's the set piece coach today then? I didn't watch the match. I'm asking if there's any Arsenal fans out there. Where was your set piece coach? Right, just going through all the chats there. I will have to go and watch that match because I need to see what happened there with the sending off. I've heard a lot that there's a lot of yellow cards that were issued to Manchester United players, and some of them weren't meant to be. So, and that's from reliable sources rather than from biased sources. Um, can I just point this out as well? Manchester United are at the bottom, towards the bottom of the Premier League, and my Palace are just. If we win our next Premier League match and they lose theirs, we will go above Manchester United on points, and they've just done a number on them in the FA Cup. Big up to you, Alex SR7. I hope you're well there. Right, what else was I going to do there? I went on a flipping. I went on my soapbox there about what happened to the ass. Don't get me wrong; it's entertaining watching them lose their stuff. Yeah, no way we lose to Southampton. Is that who you've got next? Well, Southampton won today 3-0. Let me see what happened today. Let me see what lineup they did. That's what you guys from your end. I'm intrigued to see, did they put 4 at the back or 3 at the back with it? Because they've got a new manager at Southampton, Diblin. If Diblin is still a Southampton player, that youngster scored against us. Oh, he scored 2 goals today. You know, that kid is on fire at the moment. This Diblin guy for Southampton, he scored against us at Palace, and then we won the match. But It wasn't so much that he scored against us; it's how we conceded our first goal against Southampton. We went on to beat them. Right, let me have a look at the lineup. No, yeah, they played three at the back. So this is what I mean. So I don't know. You're saying that Manchester United are going to play Southampton next. Well, Southampton under the new manager Ivan Juric, he plays three at the back. He played in this instance Bree, Bednarak, and Howard Bellis, with Rebo and Yukujuku in the midfield. And Diblin and Suella up top. So it's going to be if you like, a carbon copy of what Ruben Amorim plays. And as I said to people, Ruben Amorim was the first manager this season to take a side to Anfield and play three at the back, and that covers also domestic teams and European teams that have gone to Anfield this season. Ruben Amorim was the first manager to take a formation of three at the back, and that's exactly Oliver Glasner does play the front two and three differently to Southampton. I have to say from this formation that I see here, but definitely Mikel Arteta doesn't play three at the back. Um, Oliver Glasner does play three at the back. Ruben Amorim does, and now this new manager at Southampton, Ivan Juric, playing three at the back, and he's got three goals, and he's not conceded against Swansea City. They're not the best Championship side, but they got a good side there. I think they're top half of the Championship, trying to get into the playoffs. I could be wrong though. The last time I saw, and they've got Diblin. If Southampton lose Diblin in the January transfer window, I think they're going down anyway. But I think I would have thought that there will be some clubs that will be looking at him, Diblin there. And that was at St Mary's. Right, quickly the other matches. Steve, you mentioned that there was another match going on. I can't believe on a Sunday this late. Um, there was other football. The Women's FA Cup. I want to go into this. Palace have to go. Won't be easy. What? Palace have to go for FA Cup. Yeah, we would love to. I would love to. The Crystal Palace are well due a trip to Wembley, and not just to experience it, but to just get a trophy. Not just the Palace fans, the people at the club, the previous owners, the present owners. We're due a trophy, and now that Arsenal are out of the FA Cup, and also Brighton are going to face Chelsea. I think there's another Premier League due in the next fourth round. I can't remember who it was. So it's kind of. I mean, we've got Doncaster Rovers, but I've got to do my homework on Doncaster Rovers. I don't know enough about that. Right, I'm just going to quickly go through the FA Cup for the women's round and fourth round, I should say. Women's FA Cup fourth round. I believe it's sponsored by Adobe. Please help me get to 10 likes if you can in the chat. I would love to play for your Crystal Palace. Will be interesting in life. Yeah, I mean, it's who wouldn't like? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would like to. Today I got a selfie with none other than a gentleman called Steve Kemba. If you're a Crystal Palace fan and you hear that name, you should get goose pimples. Today I managed to run into him while I was going towards where I go in. He happened to walk past with his dear wife, and I asked him politely if I could have a selfie. And as I was taking the selfie, I was taking a photo of the floor, and he pointed it, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm nervous." You know what I mean? I mean, it's Steve Kemba. I was so nervous, and yeah, that's made my day for the whole week, next week as well, and the next month. So thank you very much, Mr. Steve Kemba. He's the best number 8 midfielder that we've ever had at Crystal Palace. He used to play for England. He used to play against the likes of Bobby Robson back in the day. If there's any Chelsea fans, You should have heard about that name because he used to play alongside Jimmy Greaves back in the day for you lot. Um, Absolute legend, Steve Kember. And of course, we all know as Crystal Palace fans what he did when Simon Jordan brought him back to save us from going down and the celebrations and all that. Ah, dear. And the other times as well. But anyway, yeah, I met a legend of the club today, and his name is Steve Kember, and I'm still buzzing about it. Absolute buzzing about it because for me, pound for pound, yeah, I think he's the best manager. Managers like that will never have got the. Yeah, I was lucky because I would have known that he was going to turn up today, and we just crossed paths, I suppose. Um, and good to see big teams play away if a couple of the smaller teams pitches. Yes, in a way, there because he adds to the romance of the. But I think it benefits more the smaller clubs if they go to a club because they get a bigger revenue. I could be wrong. It's there's more money about it, Steve, and anyone in the chat. So that's why they want to join clubs, whether it's at home and away, which one maximizes match day revenue. I don't know because I don't know. I've never looked at an accounts of a football club on an FA Cup tie with against a big club, or you know what I mean. So, but that's probably right. In the FA Cup, in the women's FA Cup, it ended Fulham women nil, London City Lionesses 5. For those of you who don't know, the London City Lionesses have got good financial backing, and hopefully they'll climb up the leagues. Everton women versus Tottenham Hotspur women was an early postponement because of the weather. Exeter City 1, Sunderland women 7. Sunderland are a good side. Sunderland women, I've seen them play against my Crystal Palace women, and they've got a good manager over there and good players. So I'm not surprised to see that kind of difference in scoreline. Manchester City 3, Ipswich Town 0. I'm going to go into this match because I heard that Viv is back. Yep, Viv Medema has scored today. The ex-Arsenal, I suppose, legend for Arsenal fans. Everyone knows Viv. Viv Medea has come back from her injury. Let me see if she started from the beginning or if did she come on as a sub. Um, she came on as a sub. So Viv came back. Yeah, she didn't start the lineup for Manchester City women. So they're slowly getting her back to full fitness. That's what that tells me. Uh, Viv Medema came on, the Netherlands international legend, I suppose, and ex-Arsenal legend, I suppose. I never understand why Arsenal got rid of her. That's madness. Anyway, um, and she came on at 61 minutes, replacing Murphy for Manchester City women. And so, what minute was that? That was 61 minutes, and she scored 76. All right, so they were 2-0 up. So when Viv Medema came on, Manchester City women with 2 goals to the good. She came on, and what happens? Within 5 minutes, she scored. That's why I say, why did Arsenal women football fans? Why did you let your club release her? Um, oh, there's more chance there. You're lucky. Good to see. It's good to see big teams play away in the FA Cup. See smaller teams' pitches. Yeah, I think I read this one out, but yeah, it's I think yeah, I think it's brilliant to see that definitely. But I think the smaller clubs just want to maximise match day revenue for that particular fee, and I don't think because it goes to penalties. I think in the old days you would do it, and then you get a replay, and then you get even more money for the smaller clubs. I met a kid. All right, I can't mention that one, Alex SR, because you're mentioning another person, a young person from a school, and I don't want to mention people's names if they're young from that. Um, oh, from the show. I don't understand that one, so I'm not going to read it out because I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. I remember Grenada played in the FA Cup and played Rochdale, Bolton, Queens Park of Scotland, and played in the FA Cup in the 1800s. And also, I remember reading newspapers in the 203. It said uh, in 203, it said 203 24 Carling's Cup winners will play Scottish League Cup winners, but did not happen. But it did. It would have been Livingston's versus Middlesbrough. Um, what cup is that though? So how could it have been Livingston? I mean, I'm not discounting saying, of course, but Middlesbrough been in the Scottish competitions? So I would have thought they couldn't be because Livingston. If I could be wrong, but my understanding is Livingston is in the Scottish leagues, and Middlesbrough has always been in the English leagues. So I'm not sure. I didn't read it properly. Carling's are cup winners and will play the Scottish League Cup winners. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, that makes sense now, Steve. Okay, yeah, I didn't read it properly. Yeah, so what you're saying is the winners of the Carling's Cup winners back in the day would have played the League Cup winners. Yeah, okay, now I get it. Okay, I'm with you. Because I was thinking, yeah, no, yeah, I get it. Um, it would have been Livingston versus Middlesbrough in those days. Yeah, Middlesbrough. They won. Was that when Brian Robson was the manager there at Middlesbrough, and they had Fabrizio um, Ravanelli, and they had Jorginho, the Brazilian number 10, and then they had Fabrizio, Italian number 9. I wonder if it was. Yeah. So anyway, back to the women's FA Cup fourth round. Manchester City women 3, Ipswich Town. I wish I would have loved to have done a watch along today for the women's football for all of these teams because you learn so much from who's coming back from injury, who's in form, and all that whatnot. And obviously, no doubt, Crystal Palace women's captain Amy Everett. I'll just show you her to you lot. Uh, the best captain in the WSL. She'll be in the middle somewhere, I suppose. This lady here, that's Amy Everett. Where I'm pointing, I know pointing is rude, but that's the only way I could do it. So that's Amy Everett there. That's our Crystal Palace women's captain. Next to her is Laura Kaminsky, our manager. And um, quickly, yeah, I can't wait for them to start this year because um, they're going to climb that. They're going to climb up the table. I know they will. I know they will. Um, yeah, no. Well, then Alex SR7, I believe you are. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. At least you know one of the players. She's Brazilian, I expect. Marta. But yes, American show. Don't worry, he's older now. He was rapping for us. Oh, I see. I thought that name kind of rang a bell. Yeah, I think I know. But if you are, I think you're Alex SR. I think you're a Manchester United fan. If you are, your Manchester United women football players did very well yesterday. If I'm not mistaken, they won like 7-0 or 7-1. I'm actually going into it now. They did very well. Hey, you are right. Well, I would suggest to you, you don't have to, uh, not to start. Don't watch a full match. But just keep an eye on their results, and then once you do that, then click into it, and then just, if you can, go on YouTube on the it's called the Barclays WSL, and you'll be able to see matches of the Manchester United women. And yesterday, um, if this thing would let me just scroll back one day, here it is. Look, it actually says it's loading. It's so flipping slow. It actually says slow. It's like, do you remember back in the day when you had the Windows 3.1 and you tried to load something and something was scroll in the middle of the screen. It's like it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Bleeping tab. I've got to get a new tablet. This is so bad. I'm actually because I know because I did hear a rumor that one of the best England Lionesses players ever, um, and she's come back from injury. Yeah, to, let's have a look. It's not loading. Miss Tooney, I think she's come back from injury. Yeah, Ella Tooney, she has come back from injury. I knew I heard it right. And she's come back. How many goals did she score? She probably scored more than one. She only scored one. Okay, well, anyway, she's come back from a bad injury. Did she last a full? I'm really happy for her because she's been getting a lot of stick from certain media people. And if you're going to be constructive about a football player, then do so. But leave it to football, if you know what I mean. And if they're injured, well, they're injured. So wait until they get back. But she got some stick while she was off injured, and quite unfavourable comments, if I may say so. So well done to her. She's back from injury. She came on 66 minutes, and she still managed to score. So there you go. So I would suggest to you keep an eye, and as I say, it's free. Go on the YouTube channel. WSL is the Barclays one. WSL Barclays because it's the Barclays Women's Super League. That's what the WSL stands for. And there are plenty of matches with the Manchester United women, and they are absolutely brilliant in the sense that if you're still there, Alex SR7, the Manchester United women, they won the FA Cup last season as an example. They won against the Tottenham Hotspur women. Um, and um, I tell you what, when you watch the Manchester United women, look at the way their captain plays. It's Laetitia. She's absolutely a rock for Manchester United. If there is a captain that leads by example in many WSL seasons going back from before the current one, Laetitia is up there. She's a very good defender and a very good captain. So if you want to get into the women's football, how do I do this? Um, I recommend that. Okay, that's another one. Watch the Barcelona women face Real Madrid women. At Barcelona, you have Kira Walsh, and I don't understand why Kira Walsh never gets nominated for any awards. If you're new to the channel, please hit a like and subscribe at Diego C. Palace. I'm just doing the last uh, of the results, but I went into a bit of depth there with the Manchester women's fixtures there. Is this today? Well, you know what? This is really getting on my nerves. I'm not going to use this anymore. I'm going to use the phone because it's just taking too long. There, I've just chucked it on the phone because it just does my head in. I'm going to go and use my phone. It'll be a lot quicker. Right, let's go to sports. Well, I'll run it off in a minute because I'm absolutely exhausted. I just come from a football match and I've just done the watch along for the Barcelona, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. So that's today, Saturday. No, we were doing today's. What am I doing? Where did we get up to? Yeah, Manchester City women 3, Ipswich Town women, excuse me, 0, Newcastle United women 1, Forest women 0. So that's another team that's getting good investment there up in the northeast. The Newcastle United women's setup. That all kicked off when the new takeover of the new owners happened about 3 seasons ago, and Amanda was there and all that. Not she's not Amanda's no longer at running things there at Newcastle, somebody else now. But I'm hearing that there's still an investment going in there. Cheltenham women nil, Wolves, Wolverhampton Wanderers women 2, London Bees nil, Rugby Borough 6. The Arsenal women's fixture against the Bristol women's side, that was also postponed because of the bad weather. Oh, the Chelsea women won 4-0 against the Charlton women. Let me just have a look at the Colombian international there. She scored there. Maria Ramirez, she scored. And yeah, she started up top for Sonia Bombasta, the Chelsea women's manager. No surprise there that Hampton was in goal for them. The squad in depth that Chelsea have is just phenomenal of players. I'm just looking at their bench and it's like, oh my days, they've got such a good, so much wealth of experience there in the Chelsea women's squad in depth that they have, that Sonia Bombasta, the Chelsea women's manager, has at her disposal. And oh, actually, yeah, let me have a look at the manager of the Charlton and see if she's still there. Karen Hills is the manager at Charlton Athletic. She played 5 at the back. You have to against Chelsea. You just gotta just park the bus, like literally, and the coach, everything, and the ice cream van, everything. You just gotta park everything there. As Charlton Athletic, um, they did a 5-4-1. Oh, bless them. Against Chelsea, it's so difficult. They're so fair. But then look at this one: Aston Villa women 9, Bristol Rovers 0. That's a mad scoreline. I don't think I've ever. Rachel Daly scoring the first goal in the 3rd minute. No surprise there. She was very good against us. When she came on as a substitute against the Crystal Palace women just a few weeks ago, before the new year, she made a difference when she came on for the Aston Villa women. Very experienced, of course. She's the Lionesses. Yeah. No, this is Aston Villa versus Bristol Rovers, and Aston Villa won 9-0. Aston Villa have Rachel Daly. She's one of their Lionesses, and other brilliant football players there as well. I've watched them play live, so they're very good. Right, quickly, just to confirm, it ended Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5, Mbappe and Rodrigo scoring for Real Madrid, but one early doors, 5 minutes, and then Barcelona just turned it around. Lamine Yamal, amazing prospect of footballer for the world to see, and then Lewandowski getting a penalty there on 36 minutes. Then Rafinha scoring for Barcelona, 2 goals for Rafinha, the ex-Leeds United player. Rafinha is now actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the defining moment when Rafinha scored his 2nd goal. I think that was done. That was done. I'm pretty sure that Rafinha is always starting nowadays as their captain. I'm just checking quickly. Who started as the captain? Yeah, it is. Yeah, Rafinha. Who would have thought that? Not long ago, he was playing for Leeds United, and no one in the Premier League saw what he could do. And he's at Barcelona, and he's doing bits up there. There you go. Right, I think that's going to be it. I can't see any other matches. Oh yeah, Napoli finished 2, so they're still top of the Serie A. Roma, Bologna 2, Roma 2. I'm just being nosy here because Claudio Ranieri is there. Oh, Roma. What did I say? Claudio Ranieri is doing bits out there in Italy. And they got an equalising penalty in the 8th minute of additional time after full time. That is how Claudio Ranieri's got these Roma players playing to the whistle right at the end. And let me see if Dybala started for Roma. Yes, he did. That's a player I'd like to see at my Palace, Dybala. Or it'd be good to see him in the Premier League. Um, yeah, yeah, that's a player there. Oh, he got substituted. Right. I think I'm going to call it an evening. Oh, I haven't done transfers. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Dude, Manchester United are serious contenders now. Um, yeah, I would agree. I can't dismiss it. Listen, make no mistake about it. I think without the penalties, I don't think Arsenal did enough there to beat your side. Having said that, I was at Selhurst Park, so I didn't watch it. But from what I've seen and heard of a reliable source of a content creator, um, that's not too biased. Let's just say that way. Is reliable. From what I heard, um, I think it's fair to say that Arsenal were not cheated um, in the 90 minutes. Manchester United, there's a reason why they got to go into extra time and then go into penalties. So um, if you, I know you've been in my chat for some time now, um, Alex SR, and I said it a long time ago when yourself and your other Manchester United fans out there were getting really worried about the inconsistency of your results. And I said then, and I'll say it again quickly, you've got a good manager, Ruben Amorim. You've got good players like Kobe Mainoo and Rushman Holan. And if your captain Bruno doesn't keep getting himself sent off, just kind of build it around that, I suppose. The rest of it, I'll leave it to Manchester United fans. But you've got a very good manager, and you've got some very good youngsters. Kobe Mainoo, I would say, Rushman Holan, and Ahmad Diallo. Go and look at his penalty today and compare it and put it aside next to that penalty shootout that happened last night for Sporting, Victor Gyökeres, and compare those penalties to how Kai Havertz took his penalties. There you go. Yeah, I was worrying about it. No, I don't think Manchester United would have got relegated. I think they could have dropped a bit further down. And don't get me wrong, you're still not out of it mathematically. But uh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the finances are at your football club in the sense that do you need to substantiate just how can I say the word? I don't know how the finances are at your football club, Manchester United. Do you have to offload people off the payroll to be able to bring what possibly the likes of what your new manager Ruben Amorim might like? I don't know. You'll have to ask a Manchester United fan. They'll probably know that. Davis is considering with is not going to Madrid. You see, you know what? This January transfer window, it's kind of the closer it's getting to the deadline, more and more I'm feeling it's going to be swaps or loan deals. But all it takes is for a big player move. Look, I'm not bantering Liverpool fans and I'm not bantering Manchester United fans. But all it takes is for a player like Marcus Rashford from Manchester United to say he goes to Barcelona, or say Trent Alexander-Arnold to leave Liverpool and land in Real Madrid. But those kind of signings or even loan deals to sort of then domino effect other deals everywhere else, and that's the sense that I'm getting. And so everyone is kind of waiting for that first domino to poop and then the next one drops, and the next one drops, and the next one, and it just affects the whole transfer window. And the last 3 or 4 days in the transfer window is going to be madness in trying to get loan deals and swap deals, or recalling players back. For example, at Crystal Palace, Chelsea can still recall back Trevor Chabala. Mark Gahey today had a wonderful game um, today as well. Yeah, he always puts a shift in, but the situation with Crystal Palace, Mark Gahey, and Chelsea. So there's a lot of things that could happen, but I think the in general the transfer window for Premier League football clubs, it's all waiting for one big one to just drop, and then everything else will cascade from there. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe at Diego C Palace. What I've done today is I've done a watch along for the second half of Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. They won the Supercopa. Well done there. When Rafinha, the Barcelona captain, scored his second goal, for me, I don't think Real Madrid will bounce back from this. I don't think Jude Bellingham in the first half was proactive or given the service that he could have wanted. They were just off it, Real Madrid today. Even though they scored first early doors, once Barcelona just got at them, they didn't let go. But as I say, how is this going to affect the transfer window now at Real Madrid and at Barcelona? Because I think the two outcomes of those two clubs will have implications to clubs in the Premier League. I'll leave it there. Right. And also, I've covered that. I've also covered the reactions to Crystal Palace men winning today in the FA Cup. They're now up against Doncaster Rovers in the next. Is it Doncaster Rovers or is it just Doncaster? Here it says just Doncaster. I always thought it was Doncaster Rovers. Let me have a look. Yeah, there is an R after it. I think it is, but I've not been there. So yeah, it is Doncaster Rovers. I've just seen it. Sorry, it's just where I'm reading it. They haven't put the whole name. So well done to them. Well done to them. They've got a scout there. Oh, it is Doncaster Rovers. Thank you, Steve. Do you know what? I'm actually going to Google it because I have like no idea. Usually I'm quite good at geography because I find that subject interesting, believe it or not, but I do. But I don't know where it's located. So I'm going to Google in maps. Doncaster Rovers. And where is it? I know I haven't been to that stadium. Oh, it's up the A1. Redford, Thorpe. Oh, it's just above Sheffield on the northeast of Sheffield. Well, a bit out of as well, but it's up the A1M1. Let me see the nearest club the nearest football club that I've been to, Doncaster Rovers, if you like. It would have to be. Have I been to Scunthorpe? No. I've been to Leeds United. Have I been to Leeds United? No, I don't think I ever did go there back in the day. No, I remember watching them loads of times at Selhurst, but I've not been to Leeds. So the nearest football club that I've been to, Doncaster Rovers, according to this map, is Sheffield Wednesday and Bramall Lane. But then in this map, it will be Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough. Yeah, it's yeah. So, oh my day, yeah, it's way over. It's further north than Nottingham. Right, yes, up the A1. I've been to Middlesbrough and I've been to Newcastle, and right, I think I'm going to call it a day there. So that's quite interesting. I learned some geography there. You know when something sort of sticks in your mind, right, I need to know how this is. I'm going to have one last browse at Crystal Palace transfers. And and there is Leroy Sané and Joshua Kimmich. No, but I don't trust this source. There's so much madness out there. Crystal Palace takeover. Drops John Sosa's claim after deal agreed. There might be, but I don't trust this. No, I'm not even going to mention it because these people, they just put these stories out there and there's just no credibility whatsoever. It's to do with John Textor, the majority holder of Crystal Palace, and I'm going to waste my time on it. So what I'll do is I'm just going to quickly do transfer news and rumours. There's going to be possibly some replacements for Kyle Walker for Manchester City. There is like a live a live watch along right now. Liverpool fans have got like a live watch along if they're going to land Kvaratskhelia. I can't pronounce his first name. Or will he go to PSV or somewhere else? Literally, the Liverpool fans are just going into meltdown over that. They're actually looking at it. And also they've got some players that they're going to be maybe moving out, like Trippier, it's not Trippier, Elliott. And Crystal Palace have been linked with Liverpool with Ben Dokes and stuff like that. And nothing certain there. There's another interesting one here for Liverpool fans. Bill Kema for the Elliott transfer. Elliott is a very good player, so there could be a swap deal there maybe for Liverpool. Let's see if there's anything for Palace. Could PSG be coming in for Garnacho of Manchester United? I've got it here. Marcus Rashford and Kobe Mainoo transfer exit stories. I don't get that. And there's some rumours on David Austin. Right, I think that's it. I can't see anything for Palace or anybody else. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. You know, this is what Palace does to you in the transfer window. You check like 3 types of transfer rumours, transfer news, and you just cross-check them all. Oh dear. Oops. Oh, come on, man. Still. Yeah, I'm hopeful that. Oh, what happened there? It must have pressed something. I don't know what happened there. We're just waiting for the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. We have heard from Fabrizio Romano that it's the latter stages of negotiations between Millwall and Crystal Palace. Of course, talking about Romain Eze. An amazing prospect there for us to take on and develop. It'll be a wonderful opportunity for him. Certainly financially, I would have thought for Romain Eze. And I think that's a no-brainer for the player, for Millwall, and for Crystal Palace. And we'll just have to wait and see. The thing is, I'm thinking every day that it goes by, they'll probably add another million to the transfer fee. I bet you that's what Dougie Freeman and Steve Parish are thinking. Look, can we just get it over the line? The longer it takes, the more money you have to pay, I would have thought. Or maybe I'm wrong. So that's that one. Of course, there's that rumour about Mark Gahey, but that's for the birds for the moment. Um, okay, I can't see anything else. Right, been good live stream. I have enjoyed it. Yes, so have I, Steve. Thank you very much for dropping in, Steve. I really appreciate that. And thank you very much, Doncaster Rovers. Yeah, I've just checked on the map, Steve, where it is. And the nearest football club that I've been to that one would have to be Hillsborough, which is obviously the home of Sheffield Wednesday. And the nearest to that would then be also Bramall Lane, which is the home of Sheffield United. But yes, up the A1 live chat. So thank you very much, Steve RFC. Stay warm, and if you are checking out stadiums, make sure you don't lose your phone and whatnot. Stay warm. I think the weather's going to get better next week for everyone across the country. Thank you very much, Alex SR7, for dropping in. Also, thank you to some other people in there. You probably won't scroll all the way back now. Paul Brady, thank you very much for dropping in. And big up to STE. I think I missed your comments actually, Mr. D. I do apologise. Where you said, yeah, super yo, second most person manager, isn't it? Oh, yeah, so I did read that. I did miss it. And we mentioned Unai, and good evening, evening. Yeah, that's it. Unai Emery said that, innit, when he was the manager at Arsenal. But it's just his pronunciation, because it's just how the Dalek comes out. Uh, uh, good evening. It's just a polite way to say it. It's just been. Well, you try and talk a different lingo that you're not used to. It's going to come out a bit dodgy. If you know, you know. Um, apparently, he didn't like it when people said that back to him. He found that patronising. But it's all part of humour. If you don't get the humour, then you don't get what it's like to live here in clubs that represent the Premier League. Thank you for hitting 8 likes, everybody. I really appreciate that. To get anywhere near 5 likes, it means the world to me. To get 8, it's like, wow. So thank you very much. Considering I have actually done a full 90 minutes on the matches. And good evening back in the chat box, Thorncutter, pointing out that Doncaster is a lovely city and also is a 15,000 capacity stadium. So to get tickets to that, so if it's a 15,000, oh my days, that means the away allocation will be between 2.5, maybe to 3,000 away fans, if you're lucky. So that's at Doncaster Rovers. Actually, you know what? Before I do close the stream, I need to know what division Doncaster Rovers are in. I gave you a 9th like. Oh, thank you very much, STE. Hope it made your night. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Cuando la... Here we go. Cuando... I'm gonna use it. Cuando la vida te da menos. Podría ser deselástico. Listen, ST, I know you Googled that. And I did not read it out loud because I know exactly what it means about the man talking about melones. Por favor, listen, bro. Listen, ST. At your Chelsea, you couldn't fit a couple of melons there because, quite frankly, there is no room in your changing room at Jammy Chelsea, and you're trying to get Trevor Chabala back on a line back to your to get it back to your bridge, and then to add salt to the wound, you want to try and trade um Mark Gahey and probably have a little nibble at Ebrieze as well. Well, no. I tell you what, you can have a nibble on. You can have a nibble on your watermelons, mate. That's all I say to you. Taking liberties. I need to find out what league Doncaster Rovers is in because I don't know, and I think it's a bit disrespectful that I've seen where their stadium is now and I don't even know what league they're in. Right. How do I find that out? I don't know. Are they in the Championship? I don't think they are. Oh my God, are they in League One or League Two? Let me go tables. Championship. I don't think they're in the Championship. Um, Doncaster Rovers. No, they're not. I would have remembered the name. Right, so Doncaster Rovers are not even in the Championship table. Oh, well, they've done really well to get this far. And then, so then let's go League One. League One. Are they in League? Oh, they're in League Two. I mean League One. So they are three leagues below us. Yeah, you're right. I'm in League One right now, so League Two. League. This is what I mean. I'm not going to go to sleep tonight. I'm going to be reading all this information. I mean, the FA Cup tie against Doncaster Rovers is not happening tomorrow morning. But as a Crystal Palace fan, I'll be looking at Doncaster Rovers, breaking it down. Who's the manager? Who's the right back? Who's the left back? Who's the midfielder? Who's the best forward? Who's the best striker and all that? Because it's going to be a tough. It's to go to these small grounds, and I don't mean to say the small to say it. You're still learning how to use the worldwide. Listen, STE. Um, it was easier when you could use the CFAX teletexting. All you had to press is one blousy button, right? Because all you would press is CFAX or teletext, and you would just go, yeah, and you wouldn't have to press no more. Like back in the day, in the real world, none of like you people are all living in the high cloud, in the iCloud thing, right? That's how you all Chelsea fans live, right? All you Chelsea fans, you just live on your touchpad, touching this and touching that. That's all you did. The real people back in the day, we had to go when we finished a game of football. You would finish the last thing that you I'm not going to say the last thing, but the last thing that you would do is you'd be laying in bed, you go to the teletext, you find the teletext thing there in the remote control, and then you go boom. And if you're obviously, if I remember rightly, if you're on BBC One or BBC Two, that was CFAX. Um, and if you're on ITV, yeah, that would have been teletext. And then you would have gone to the sporting section, and then you would have gone to results and all this and that. But that was the Wide Web. So does that make me a dinosaur? No, it doesn't. It just makes me a real person. Unlike the Chelsea fans out there. Where is the Doncaster Rovers? Did you just... Oh, they're in the playoffs. You should get Alexia. Nah, listen, I'm not having no one telling me what to do and knowing my business. It's bad enough that you know that now I don't have Alexia. Um, can you imagine me having Alexia and I'm doing a watch along here? The poor thing is going to go like, who is this guy? Who is he talking to? He's like this. Oh, I guess I could, hadn't it? Yeah. Yeah, League Two, thanks. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah, because I've got Wi-Fi now. So I have been converted to the Wi-Fi generation. Kind of, if you want to call it that. Um, Accrington Stanley and Newport are in there. Fleetwood. Gillingham have dropped all the way down to League Two. Oh, I thought they were in League One. Bromley are down there. Yeah, oh, actually, can I? Well, it sounds to me that you know about this. So if I get that Alexia thing, do they know? Could I ask it football questions? And that will it give a reliable answer? Like, for example, if I say, who is the Crystal Palace women's captain? And I asked Alexia, will they tell me the answer? Is that how it works? Or do you have to program it? I don't know. To me, it sounds like it's a device that it's like Google. Instead of typing in what you're searching, it listens to your voice and then it just off it goes. So the oldest English stuff, 2020. Listen, look into my eye, Chelsea people out there. not last season, but just the season before that. My Crystal Palace with that shit. What's happened to Penny for the guy? When did that fall down? Why didn't you let us say anything? Unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. I mean, what, what, what? Listen, this penny for the guy is as tired as I am. Just stay there, man. Right. What happened is, she's still there. This penny for the guy, that one there, can ask the questions and he will answer. You know what? I know somebody that's got Alexa. I'm going to go and check it out. I'm actually going to put that in the note as a task to do. Because before I start this, before I think of buying something like that, I need to know that it works. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to be flinging it in your eye there, STE. You still haven't. I need to look to see where Doncaster is. They've played 25 games and they've got 40 points. But so is a lot of people. Oh my God, they're down there with Wimbledon and Notts County. I've been to Notts County actually. They're down there with Salford City, and they're nearly on automatic promotion. Oh, but my God, look at that. Doncaster's on 40 points, but all Salford and Crewe are on 42, 43. So basically, anyone from literally from the 7th to the 2nd place could be in automatic promotion. So Doncaster Rovers could be in a position at the end of the season to be promoted to League One if they play it right. I'm just looking at the they won today. I'm just looking at the form. They lost against Port Vale and they won against Fleet. So I'm really been nosy now. I'm looking at the lineups. They play 4 at the back, 2 in the pivot, Bailey and Kelly. Their strikers called Sharp. I don't know any of these. Let me have a look at. That's when they lost. I'll quickly look at the one at against Fleetwood. Again, different pivot, Bailey and Broadbent. So they've got different number 8s being played at different matches. And a different striker up top. This time they started up when they won against Fleetwood. Someone called Ironside. And Kelly was on the bench. So the manager who's the manager? Grant McCann is the manager of Doncaster Rovers. So well done to him to get his side into the forefront of the FA Cup. Now I can't let go of it. I'm going to have a look at the lineup that he had today. Did he play Kelly up top? He played. Oh no, that's Hull. He played Sharp at top, and he played Bailey and Broadbent in the pivot and the midfield. So he clearly does alternate places, maybe because of injury or whomever they were playing up against. I don't know that much them. And ST says, yeah, that's right. You can ask the questions and it will answer. The thing is, I'm worried about this Alexa thing is that what happens when you ask a question and then it gives you an answer and then you don't agree with it? Do you sit there on your own, in your own space, and you start having an argument with someone that sounds perhaps sexy, very polite, but you still have an argument and you're thinking, no, you're wrong. And then is that what happens? Is that what people do with this Alexa thing? The reason why they have it is because they ask it a question and then they say something and then you start, no, you're wrong. And then they correct you. And the more they correct you, then you try and correct Alexia. And then you spend all your life having an argument with, and it's not someone in the call center, is it? Don't tell me it's someone in a call center. If it's someone in a call center, no, I am not getting that. I can't, listen, respect to the people that have worked in the call center. Respect to them. Respect to them. I don't disrespect them. But what I'm saying is, I am not going to buy a device where I'm going to be talking to a call center person, and then after I hang up, they're going to be trying to calling me up for my private things. You know what I mean? No. I need to know that before I get that. I need to know if you ask a question and you don't agree with it, then do you then engage yourself into an argument with Alexia? And what does it look like in person? Is it actually a person? I think it's going a bit too deep, that conversation. Doncaster, uh, about as good as Salford City. Yeah. Ah. Well, I tell you what, they nearly got to half time. Um, um, against Man City. Yeah, but you know what? I know you're saying that they're as good as Salford City. Yeah, I saw that table. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But we're not playing at home. And these Crystal Palace players are just, I cannot say this. Today I sat in the cold for 90 minutes plus. I know sitting there. But I watched my Crystal Palace players, and if the performance that they did today, I expect at Doncaster Rovers, we're going to get done over. We were lucky today with the referee, and I don't say that, I touch wood. I never say that. As I said, I ran into some Stockport County fans after the match, and we got talking, and we concluded, and without having to agree to disagree, we actually both agreed that in the second half, the referee actually did us some very favourable decisions, and they were actually still spitting and fuming about it. And I said, I would be the same. If I travelled that distance, I don't even know where Stockport County is, but wherever they've travelled down, they were like, this referee has just done us over. But what I'm saying to you, STE was it STE? Is that how the way Crystal Palace played today? Okay, we won, and I'm happy that we won. I'm glad that Ebriasi scored the goal. But I'm sure the Crystal Palace players will say to themselves, if we go up to Doncaster Rovers and play like we played today, and they score a goal, and they clearly can score goals, look at the goals that they've scored in their league. We might run into some trouble up there. The players are not going to have the Crystal Palace ultras playing the drums. We're playing away. He says here, have a look on YouTube and some reviews and pick them up as cheap as. Oh no way! I thought they were like £300-400. These things, only £15, and have loads around my house. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I thought it was, we're talking like 250 upwards. I thought they were really expensive bit of kits. No, I'd buy them. I'd buy it new. If they're that thing. But then now that you're saying that you can buy it. Crystal Palace played Stockport County. Or did you just say Stockport? But it's Stockport County, the official name of that football club. Actually, I'm gonna. You know what? Before the end of the stream, out of respect of the Stockport County fans, I am actually going to Google to see where it is, because I don't actually know where that is. Only 15, 20 quid. No way. I thought they were really expensive. But then, as I say, and now that the thing I'm worried about, equal to like 20 quid. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Alexa. But then my point being is that if I ask her a question about my Crystal Palace and I disagree, and Alexa's wrong, but she's saying that she's right, and I know that I'm right, I'm going to be sitting there like a lemon arguing with somebody that's not somebody. And I'll be late for the live stream. I could just see myself eating and say, what did you just say? And I'll be talking to complete strangers. And then what are they going to introduce? Alexia, and then it'd be like a hologram or something. Is that what it is? Is that where they got it from? All right, I'll have to look at it. It won't argue back. Oh, okay, all right. You can tell it to shut up. I just don't trust it. I just know it might report me, and then suddenly, I don't know. Maybe my she'll leak your. That's what I'm. There you go. There you go. And the thing is, this one. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to get it, because there's one thing that I've learned about this online thing, this live streaming thing, is that you do then start to quit. I've never thought about the trolls and all these things that happen, and but okay, so you can halt it. What do you mean? Like you can unplug it? Okay, you can physically unplug it from the wall, but you can by your voice activate it and put it on standby by the sounds of it. Um, but then can the neighbors talk to it? Is that how it works? No, it must have. No, it'll be connected to your own Wi-Fi, I suppose, isn't it? You won't argue. Nah, man, you're talking to someone that is CFAX teletext, brawn bread and buttered, mate, and you're trying to get me to bring someone into your yard and have an argument with. It, you know what? I'm going to screen photograph this. Paul Brady says it won't argue back. I'm gonna photograph the thing. You know what? I'm gonna photograph this as a receipt, because if I do get it, and then you look probably in the chat then start saying, how comes Diego hasn't come live? Then I can say to Paul Brady, uh, it's because I was arguing with Alexia. They're good. You say, Alexia. Oh my God. You know, this is one thing that I'm learning, that I know that I can't. If I start using the other software where I can put the chaps up in the, I think this is where it could be beneficial, because I can't put your chat ST on the screen on this studio things. But I think if I use StreamYard, I think then you can. Oh, I've lost it. It says they are good. You can say, Alexa, play. You see, you nearly got me there, Chelsea. Why would I ask about Chelsea's song? Is that all right? So then I can ask it anything. Oh, so you can ask it anything about historical. So I can ask him about. Oh, that's quite. No, you know what? You actually are selling it to me. If I can ask questions about certain aspects of the history of Crystal Palace, or versus Crystal Palace on that year versus another team, yeah. All right, I'll look into that. I'm surprised to see the price of it. I thought it was, as I say, I thought it was like £200 upwards. And if you're saying you can get one for around a new one for £30, I'll have a look on locally online to see what you can get. But I know I'm going to start arguing with it. Right. Okay, I think that's it because I need to go to the toilet. But I'm happy today that we've won um, Selhurst Park. We're through. Oh my God, their Arsenal fans are going into meltdown on YouTube. They're like literally having a nervous breakdown. If you want to know the score without wanting to Google, you can say, what's the score? You know what? And I read it. I read it and I read it and I was like, I was looking interested into it. And then right at the end, this is, I think, this when you're called, what do they call it when they do it to other content creators out there? When you get done over, that's not done over. I think maybe trolled, but in a funny way, not in a bad way. Um, you kind of said it to me, but I just know I'm going to get into an argument. I'm just looking here on YouTube, and like literally, I am not joking to you. All Arsenal fans out there are going into meltdown, and all the Manchester United fans are in the faces of the Arsenal fans. I didn't watch the match because I was at Selhurst Park, happy and celebrating that we're into the next round against Doncaster Rovers. Um, and Yeah, there's a lot of Manchester United fans out there handing out receipts to Arsenal fans, and the Arsenal fans are just having to take it in. They're going mad. Oh, hang on a minute. Something from Fabrizio. There is something from Fabrizio. What's going on? Uh, hmm. All right, let's quickly check the last one. I'm going to do one, but I have to check one last thing. Um, quickly. There he is, Fabrizio. Right, let me just quickly check his. What I tend to do, one of the last things that I do is if you go into I don't use Twitter, so in the Instagram of Fabrizio Romano along his storyline, not all the posts that he does, but the one that goes along the top, I just quickly flick through to see if there's any Crystal Palace stuff. I know that there probably won't be, but there might be. Gabriel Jesus has injured his knee there though. Oh, that was 7 hours ago though. So he kind of gives qualified. So this is after the. Then there's a picture of Mikel Arteta eliminated. Even Fabrizio Romano saying eliminated, eliminated. Who's that from Doctor Who? Eliminated. There is a lot of people handing out receipts, and it's not because they're trying. Oh, hello. There's something on Crystal Palace. Hold on. This is 5 hours ago. Benjamin on two penalties saved. I just want to help everyone at this great football club, and well, that's got nothing to do with Crystal Palace. So why did I see the Crystal Palace team? That's nothing to do with us. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oliver Glasner. Trevor Charlie didn't play today. Ah, here we go. Okay, here we go. This is Fabrizio Romano, 11 minutes, although this is like 5 hours ago. Fabrizio Romano says, Oliver Glasner, quote, oh yeah, I've seen this. It's Trevor Chavela didn't play today for contractual issues. I know he wants and want him to stay, but we still have 19 days to do anything that can happen. I want Trevor to stay, and I know Mark Gay, he wants to stay. So he's just putting a line underneath the sand there. But if anything, that would be it's a professional broadcast by Oliver Glasner. He has to toe the line in the sense of what the club's direction is in respect to a player going out. Arteta, Gabriel Jesus, big worry. That's my feeling. He's had to come off the stretcher touching his knee. So uncomfortable. It's not looking good. So the narrative for Arsenal fans now is Gabriel Jesus, who scored a second goal that shouldn't have counted against us in the League Cup because he was clearly offside. He's now injured. Bukayo Saka's injured. Ethan Waneri's injured. So the narrative is going to be um, that because of the injuries, Arsenal fans will be asked by the board of Arsenal maybe to give Mikel Arteta another 1 or another 2 years. I don't think it's going to last. Rafinha. Oh, Chelsea. Well, there's something on Chelsea here. You're probably all gone, and I don't blame you. Romano, Chelsea currently only opening doors for Renato Viega's exit on a permanent deal. He's pushing a new chapter place on a regular basis. Borussia Dortmund agreed with Viega. Chelsea also receive approaches from top clubs, Italy, France, and Premier League sides. Dani Almo on his future to Barcelona fans. I think that's it. And last of all, it says Carlo Ancelotti. The only thing I saved is Kylian Mbappe. He's had a good game. He did very well, and the rest we were very bad today. So Ancelotti's saying, Dortmund. Oh, I see. Pep Guardiola, Carl Walker wants to go. It depends. You know what? With all this thing that you hear about players, they say they want to leave and all this thing. I like Vaja. Yeah, I was making that assumption. The thing is, you guys are used to, I suppose. You say you like this player. I'm at Crystal Palace. I don't have that luxury. but um, because we're just not in the transfer market like you guys are. But when Chelsea fans say, "I like this player," or you like the approve of it, are Chelsea fans only looking at it from the football fans' perspective? Because if you are, that's not going to work. You've got to look at it from the angle of the manager that you've got in place. I mean, I'm sure you're considering it, but what type of manager have you got? What kind of style of football does he play? And what is his communication skills with that particular player that you might be thinking, I like this. I like this player back in my squad. So, or maybe he doesn't even get to that. Basically, it probably might even go over the head of your manager, Enzo Maresca, and it's already been decided by the people upstairs. So how that functions as an example within Chelsea, I don't know. Um, but because the days of managers um, having 100% and 120% control of any potential incoming transfer or who's going and who's leaving is for the birds. It doesn't happen like that anymore. There's a lot of other mechanisms I think that happen within the board, within the people that make the decisions, and the sporting director. Perhaps the last person that finds out is the damn manager. But my point being, as a football fan, saying is the player that you're interested in, is he actually going to fit in with the style of football that your manager's actually going with, and as the sporting director of your football club on the same way of thing. At Crystal Palace, you often see pictures of Oliver Glasner sitting next to Dougie Freeman, and I find that encouraging because I think it's important that the connectivity between the management that deal with the day-to-day training, development, injuries that they have to deal with. That's got to be part of it. Um, I Oliver Glasner, coaching staff, medical team. They have to be in sync on the same wavelength as the people whom are, not to say they're making the decisions or who stays and who goes, but making the difficult decisions. Because this is how I've always approached my Crystal Palace. If I approached it any other way, I would lose my hairline and I would get more grey hairs. It's very simple. At Crystal Palace, you've got people on point on positions um, to make the tough decisions. So I expect at Crystal Palace, those individuals that have to make that final decision, they have to be on the same wavelength, surely, at the very least, with Oliver Glasner. So when I see, or maybe I'm looking at it too deeply, when I see photos of Dougie Freeman there with, I'm sure they're in communication. If there is a total breakdown in communication, you can see the madness that it will go. It will go wrong there. But I think it's encouraging at the moment. I think at Crystal Palace, without going into the transfer window for Crystal Palace, as I said, this time last year, we brought in Adam Walton, Daniel Munoz. So every transfer window, there will be a specific, I would say, 1, 2, 3 targets that the club will prioritize. They'll keep it indoors, but there'll be no doubt that they'll be watching what is developing. Are you at what? I don't understand that question. Are you at Bills? Uh, I didn't understand that, ST. I don't understand. Uh, uh, is that something that's happening tomorrow live? I don't understand your question, buddy. Um, but yeah, so that's what it is. Uh, I don't think I. My worry is with this Roman Eze thing. I think it needs to be announced before Millwall plays tomorrow. Um, if it doesn't, I think they're going to wait until the end of the year. But my feeling is that Crystal Palace have put a lot of hours into this deal to land, with Roman Eze to leave Millwall and to land at Crystal Palace, and um, so that's why I'm like looking at the phone to see if anything. Um, I'm hopeful that by midday tomorrow, midday or 1 o'clock, um, I thought Manchester would lose both ways to Liverpool, and Man United didn't. I remember that. It was unbeaten by the poor home run. Was that with Eze? Um, I don't understand. What was that? Was with Eze? At the moment, I've not heard anything concrete. Normally, when you go to a match, you know, when you're standing in the bar and you're waiting in line to get your drink, you hear things, and that's when you sort of get involved, sort of thing. But it could be because actually today, everyone in the lounge that I walked through to go into the match, everyone was looking at the screen because there was the other FA Cup tie, and Tottenham were about to get. Uh, oh, you mean SA? Oh, right, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Millwall. If I say Millwall, okay, I know what I'm going to do. From now on, when I talk about Ebury SA, I'm going to say Ebury, because it's just going to get confused. Can you imagine having two A's in the training camp? I mean, Oliver Glasner's going to say, Scheiße. Oh, I just swore in German. I can't talk a bit German. He's going to, oh, Scheiße. Roman Eze. Apparently, Roman Eze, his surname, is pronounced the way as if you were doing an essay for your university lecture. So the way you pronounce that, I'm doing my, I don't know, 5,000 word essay on this subject. That's how you will say it. Um, Not because of what I've heard, it's from what I heard in the sense that how an interview someone heard him say, "No, this is how I like my surname to be pronounced." Um, the things at the end of the day, everybody has nicknames. Everyone calls Ebrieze Ebs. Um, just so they can't go wrong. That's what I'm going to do. From now on, I'm going to mention Ebrieze as Ebs, but I would normally like to pronounce the surname of the person. Like if I ask for a selfie from a player, I always say Mr. etc. Could I have a selfie? And you say Mr. or Mrs. if it's a women's football player. Um, but on Ebrieze, Klopp, Glasner, and Flick are both of the same mentality and physiology. Yes, I agree. You're absolutely right, Sando. And I was the very first person on YouTube content creator. I'm not after a blue Peter badge. I've already got one. But when we signed Oliver Glasner, if you put on the table on a piece of paper and you put on another piece of paper how Jurgen Klopp started his football, going from player into coaching into management, it's like literally nearly identically. They've won things, they're professionals, they know what they're doing. And I'm thinking we're onto something here with this guy. And then the last thing that I was thinking, I'm not going to mention the name of the person, but when the coaching staff leave, it wasn't a coaching staff member of the Crystal Palace. It was not. I can categorically tell you that it wasn't that. But I think it was someone that perhaps maybe knew of them or something like that. And we've just got talking about football. And I pointed out to them that I heard a rumor that Ralph Ragnick, who is deemed as a person that has the authority, if you like, to go around in European football management sort of union and knight certain managers and say, "Arise, you have made it." And in European management world of WhatsApp groups, if you like, it is well known that Ralph Radnick has knighted and asked to arise Oliver Glasner because he's ready to make the next step up. And that's why when he had the opportunity and Dougie Freeman saw that opportunity, I expect they snapped him up. And it was a bit of a gamble because although we all know that Oliver Glasner started well, he had that bounce after Roy left coming to the end of last season. But at the start of this season, after losing Olise and Chelsea have entered into a race for Roman. Oh no! Don't, don't, don't go there. But yes, big up to Sando about that. Yes, I agree with you, Sando. It is that mentality. I know I sort of bark it a lot that Crystal Palace have the next Jurgen Klopp, and I'm not trying to say that to get underneath or over the skin of Liverpool fans. I'm generally saying that the the phys- can't pronounce that word, philosophy of how football ought to be played from the transition of defence to attack and attack to defence. How Oliver Glasner is doing it, as an example, is very similar, if not more or less identical, of what Ruben Amorim has already successfully executed at Sporting uh, um, with what they did. As an example, um, what Jurgen Klopp did, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I'm pretty certain in saying this, when Jurgen Klopp landed at Liverpool, it didn't happen within one or two transfer windows. I think it took him 2.5 seasons to eventually get the side that he wanted. And I think it's right to say that when Jurgen Klopp won his first trophy for Liverpool, if you look at that starting 11 in comparison to the first starting 11 when he took over at Liverpool, I don't think no more than one or two players survived from when he started to when he won that first trophy for Liverpool. And it took him nearly 3 years. So I would say that might be 2.5 seasons. That's what I'm trying to get the point at. So with Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace, he did have that upsurge after Roy left. When we left the season, the tournament that we had in America, and then when we came back the start of the season, it just, you lose people like Joachim Anderson, you lose people like Michael Olise, and then you completely transform the formation that we play. Um, how can I put this? I've heard back in the day, professional football players say, whilst being interviewed, you cannot compare pre-season to match day after match day, match day, cup competition, match day. It's a complete different thing out there. That's what they say, and they're the professionals, and I kind of agree with that. So, but now we're getting momentum. There's a good team spirit. I can see the players fighting for each other. I don't see Mark Gahey, unlike what STE saying, that they're going to come in for. Let me hand that. Apparently, Chelsea has emerged the race to for Roman Esse to be the new boy. Listen, listen. Let me tell you something. The way your manager is throwing Nkuku underneath the bus. In fact, he's not even throwing him underneath the bus there. Probably Enzo Maresca is saying, forget about the lollipop lady and the lollipop man there. Chuck them underneath the bus too. Do you know what I mean? You got to worry about what's going on outside the front street, because there ain't no long time I look into my eye, Chelsea fans, about taking our Roma. This is exactly what Chelsea fans out there do. They do this. They do this time and time again, and it just would not surprise me. It. I mean, I'm not jinxing this. I swear. I swear. In the moons and the stars, and in whatever you're into, if tomorrow by midday I find out any rumour that Chelsea have got in underneath this deal between Crystal Palace and Millwall to sign Roman Eze, and they've gone in and offered him and turned his head, oh my days. Oh my days. Somebody cancel football out there, because I'm telling you, that's exactly what Chelsea fans do out there. That's what they do. Not the Chelsea fans, but it's the noas. It's the ability to sign young players, turn their heads from other paths of direction, of trajectory, of their development in where they are as young players. Chelsea are able to attract these youngsters, and they may not never start for Chelsea, but it gives them an opportunity. But it does turn their heads. Oh, now I'm not going to sleep. If Chelsea come in and take, I know you were joking about the ball boy thing, but now I'm just being real about it, because the longer this thing doesn't get over the line, that's exactly what could happen. A club like Chelsea, with their prowess ability to take contracts. When was it last season? Manchester United did that with one of our youngsters as well. So even Manchester United fans do that as well. It's so, oh man, don't even get me there. Listen, you wait and see, man. We'll sign him, Chelsea, if he's still in the FA Cup. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Chelsea have got Brighton. You better win against Brighton. I swear. ST, if you're Chelsea, don't win against Brighton, Hove and Albion, I'm gonna be handing out so many receipts. You better be blinking like this so nothing flicks in your eye. It's gonna catch you in my eye. I'm gonna be flicking the receipts at every Chelsea fan that I know for real, because you need to put a result over Brighton. I need them out of the FA Cup. I need them down in the relegation zone. Real talk. But the way Chelsea bottled it against the Tractor Boys and Fulham fans on the Fulham Road, she would sink. We'll never sink that low Bayern from the channel. Oh, God. Ah, my days. Oh, my days. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, actually, know your place, because that's our forte. That's our ground. To pick players from around there, we buy them. But you know what? I don't understand the complexity of this. Maybe it's different with Mark Gahey because we didn't get him from the Championship. But what it is, I'm salty about this, and I'm put my hands up on this, and I'll quickly end this on this, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't understand how Chelsea FC can give over £100 million for it, just the transfer fee alone. That probably doesn't cost the rest of it, the wages, I don't know, the donuts and the coffee table and the cupcakes and all that thing. But Chelsea gave over 100 mil for Casado to Brighton, and then they look at somebody like Ebrieze or Mark Gahey. I know it's they play in total different positions, and I know it doesn't work like this, but I'll be saying, no, if you're going to give him 110 mil or whatever it is, you better come start talking to us about with 120 mil, and then we'll see where we go. But if the situation with Mark Gahey is simple, you guys know the clause. My understanding, two things. If Mark Gahey does decide to leave Crystal Palace, my understanding the contract is signed as that Chelsea has a first nibble at it. And the second thing is, my understanding is that Chelsea, if Mark Gahey does not go to Chelsea, but if Mark Gahey goes to another football club, it's about 10 or 15% of the sale will be given to Chelsea. Not of the sale, of the profit of the sale will be given to Chelsea. I rephrase that. So I hope you understood that. So basically, if Mark Gahey, say for example, goes to Liverpool, the profit that Crystal Palace make, I presume, by ascertaining Mark Gahey from Chelsea to us, and then we move it on to Liverpool, the profit of that increment, 15 or 20% of that goes to Chelsea. That's the jamminess of Chelsea. Still milking us. Even if the player goes somewhere else. I mean, it's clever. It's clever contracting. That was probably signed by what was the lady at Chelsea back in Manera? What's her name? Oh, she used to do all that for Roman Abramovich. Manera. I can't. Remember. I don't think that's a proper how you pronounce her name. But that is how good they were in contracts. I know I called it jamminess and all that, but from this outside looking in, man, that's clever dealing, man. That's talking. That even so, later on, after the contract and the players left, you're still able to bring in cost. That's clever. So anyway, that's definitely on the Mark Gahey thing. On Ebrieze, I've not heard absolutely anything from anything and anyone live chat. And what I'm thinking at the moment is that quickly with Ebrieze, this is what I'm going back to say to something else. Um, uh, Ever. Oh, I don't understand that. With Ebbs. With Ebbs. If a player, if what happens in Real Madrid, in Manchester United, in this sort of big worldwide brand sort of European sides, if you like. Once some big dominoes start to drop, that's when I think someone might come in for Ebrieze, and that's what scares me a little bit. I don't want to lose him, but I do see Ebrieze one day. He should be lifting a Champions League trophy. He should be lifting a um, a Premier League title, and as much as I like my Palace to be able to do that in the lifespan of the career of Ebbs at Crystal Palace, that may not materialise. So if the opportunity comes for a club like Liverpool or Man City comes in for the likes of um, Ebbs, who's going to stop that? But he won't go to Newcastle. He won't go to Tottenham Hotspur. I remember at the beginning of the season, the Tottenham Hotspur fans saying, "Oh, Ebrieze, oh, Ebrieze," and Newcastle fans, all this. I'm thinking, get out of it, man. Why would we want to go over there? If you're going to leave my Palace, go to a club that's going to win the Champions League or the Premier League. Manira, that's the lady. That's right. The team that she had around her then, um, it wasn't just a reputation of, oh, it's Marina. No, it's the nitty gritty of those contracts that were signed. And there's an example. I could be wrong. Shit, I'm trying to date it back. Mark Gahey came over to us in. Oh shit. Yeah, it did happen. Because it did happen because I remember when Roman bought Chelsea. I'll never forget it because he came to I was in the Steve Coppell lounge. It was that year, and we had a friendly with Chelsea. And you bought Damien Duff. I'm pretty right. I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. You bought him, and he came on as a substitute. And I said to the guy sitting next to him, I says, "This substitute, this Damien Duff guy, he can his transfer fee alone pays for our entire starting 11." And then the guy says, "No, you're wrong. It's actually the whole squad." And I thought, oh my days, one substitute from Chelsea, and that's all down to people like how the contracts are signed from that. Vamos, Prince and Neon. I hope you're well. Good evening. Thank you for dropping in. Please help me get to 10 likes if you can. Muchas gracias por venir al canal. Hoy hice un poquito del partido de entre la Real Madrid contra Barcelona, donde acabó Real Madrid 2, Barcelona 5. Y qué pecado para los espectadores de la Real Madrid, pero yo creo que los espectadores de Liverpool no le están celebrando. What I just said there in Spanish, big up to, oh jeez, how do I do this? To Brian, earlier on I quickly did the half watch along for Real Madrid and Barcelona, and I said that I expect there are not many Liverpool fans out there that will be shedding any tears watching Real Madrid lose in the way they lost today, that final. Um, and it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see um, who gets to the latter stages of the Champions League. As a Crystal Palace fan, I'd like for the British side to get further and further. Not just the ones in the Premier League, but those in the Scottish League, as well. So hopefully one of them could get towards the latter stages and lift the team. But Bayern Munich is Vincent Kompany's doing really well, although he's further down in the Champions League. So watch that out. Watch it out. You've got Michael Lise over there and company. We'll have to wait and see. Right. What's the time? Yeah, now come on, guys. It's coming up to midnight. I want to thank everyone to getting me to 9 likes. You guys are absolutely insane. Thank you very much. But if you're watching on playback, please count me get to 10 likes. I only intended to do the second half of Real Madrid versus Barcelona, but of course my Crystal Palace won 1-0 against Stockport County today, and absolutely happy for 3 reasons. Reason number 1, Ebrieze scored another beautiful goal, finger licking the way he passes the ball into the net. He doesn't get any better than that. So Ebbs scoring today the winning goal. Um, Second reason is Chadi Riyad, the Moroccan international, started from the whistle, and he had a good going out there on Selhurst Park. He made a few individual errors, but he overcame them whilst on the ball, and he'll get back. He'll get back to his peak, no doubt. He had a few knocks on the second half, and when he went down, I was like, oh no. But well done, Chadi Riyad, the Moroccan international, Crystal Palace left back. You're absolutely brilliant out there today, so I'm really happy to see you back on the grass doing your things out there. And the third reason, which I was really happy about, I had a selfie with none other than Steve Kemba, the Crystal Palace legend, midfielder, the best number 8 that Crystal Palace have ever seen. I never actually watched him play football um, because I wasn't even born then. But from what I hear, and definitely from what he'd done for me as a Crystal Palace fan since 1989, um, what he did for the club in the management role, best manager that I've ever seen in that Selhurst Park dugout there. Right, you better be going for Ben Dokes as well. That's the other one I haven't mentioned, but yes, I am aware that he's from the Liverpool thing. Um, I think that'll be a loan if it happens, but I don't think they want that, do they? You know what though? Sometimes when I look at deals like that, I stop to think wrongly because I should be thinking, first of all, what does actually Ben Doak want at this point in his career? Because he may not feel that he's not been able to fulfill that at Liverpool. And before I make an opinion on him, whether he should land for us in January or at the end of the season, I should do my own research about how he feels within Liverpool, within the whole structure that he's there, and what has caused that. Because something has caused that. Is it because there's other players that are better? Is it because he's had injuries? Is it because he's had falling out with the manager, with the coaching staff? All sorts of things. So I've got to do my homework, and I'm going to put my hands up to you, Paul Brady. I am aware that he is linked, but I haven't done enough homework on that, like I have with Roman Eze from Millwall. Bento, there's another few Liverpool players that I saw Fabrizio Romano saying about 3 out, and Bradley. You got a player called Bradley at Liverpool. I know you're not going to let go of him, but that's a player there, man. And whenever I don't see that man starting for you lot, I'm thinking, do your Freeman, man. Just make a deal, man. You know what I mean? Real talk. Right, we're coming up to mid. Do you know what? The Arsenal fans are absolutely going down in meltdown. In every way you look, left and right, real talk. The Arsenal fans are actually just at the bits. Um, they're literally that the Arsenal fan base out there. They're actually tearing each other apart right now out there on YouTube. They are actually they're pissed off. I mean, that's putting it very mild. And but there you go. Um, I'm going to call it a day there. Oh, there's some boxing breaking news there. Oh, no, I better leave it there. Right. One last look. Yeah, I better call it a day. Right. Thank you very much, everyone in the chat. Please stay safe. Please stay warm. Thank you, Paul Brady. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. I'm keeping an eye, as a Crystal Palace fan, I'm keeping an eye from an outside looking in. What's going on happening in Liverpool? What's happening at Manchester United transfer window? What's happening at Manchester City? Uh, what could happen at Arsenal? Because the window still has a few more matches to play. I think it's 2 more weeks, isn't it? Or been a bit. So that things like that, because things can change, and when those clubs come calling for players from Crystal Palace, and if there are substantial interests, the player will go, and it is what it is. But the thing is, I just like to have one full season with what we've got, and just leave them alone. But I know it doesn't work like that. So that's what I'm saying about these dominoes to drop. There's going to be other things that occur at the Real Madrid, at the Barcelona's, at the PSG, at City, at Liverpool, at Manchester United, at Chelsea. And whatever they decide to do in the transfer windows is going to have a domino effect in clubs like Crystal Palace and others out there. What about the striker from Mbeumo from Nottingham? Is it Nottingham Forest? Or no, he's from Brentford. Mbeumo. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that I'm not hearing too many sides going in for him. I think that he's a striker out there. He's all right up there. So there you go. Right. Massive thank you to everyone in the chat. I think I've read everybody's name, but Paul Brady, Bryce Neon, ST, thank you very much. Sam Doe for dropping in. Steve RFC. I think there were some other ones. Paul Brady again. Oh no, we can't have two Paul Bradys. I mean, that's just the one. We could have twins out there. I don't think I've missed it. Oh, Alex SR7. Oh my god, I'm gonna get in trouble for not mentioning that, dude. I am in so trouble. And I think that was it. There were some other people that dropped in earlier on, but I can't scroll back that far back. Come on. Right, thank you very much all. Stay safe. It's coming up to midnight. Keep warm, and I hope to do some more content tomorrow. I'm hopeful that by midday or 1 o'clock, Romain Eze will be here we go from Fabrizio Romano from Crystal Palace FC saying he's landed. The Eagles has landed. Romain Eze has landed, and if in any way, Chelsea turned his eye and they end up signing Romain Eze, believe me, you're gonna see a live watch along like you've never seen tomorrow. I hope I haven't just jinxed it. This is Diego C. Palace. That's Penny for the guy back there. Thank you for watching. Please help me get to 10 likes if you can. Help me get to 2,000 subscribers. I can't do it without all your help, and I'm really thankful for all the support for the people in the chat watching playback. All of you, thank you very much for doing so. I really mean that. I take my hat off to you. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Have a pleasant evening, and I'll catch you up tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, it's up there. I'll get it right one day. I forgot where it is. Oh, my God. There. Okay. About this. Amateurs here. I'm off to go and order Alexia to teach me how to close a live stream. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.